What's up, family? Coach Khayr is in the building. Uh, Team Charles, Atlanta, Georgia. I got Jasmine Otten. Jasmine, tell them who you are, sweetheart.
Jasmine Atten, Mystic at the Crossroads, your favorite witch, Spicy Pisces, West LA, baby.
Word. So, how we doing it tonight is everybody's already learning about Mercury retrograde. That is what we have going on tonight. It started, let's write the dates down so we can be clear. There's 3 phases of Mercury retrograde. Tonight is about getting your money house in order. So, what I love about um, your money mind got to be in order, in the order for your money in the pocket got to be in order. Okay, so there's we're gonna put the dates down for Mercury retrograde, and then we're gonna get into the money, and then we're gonna start taking questions. All right, from October the 10th, October the 11th until December 20, no, October the 11th until October the 31st is phase one of the retrograde. All right. Then from October 31st to November 22nd is the second phase. And then the third phase is November 22nd to December the 7th. And we're going to look at these like a movie. All right. So phase one is the trailer of the movie. So the things that are happening from Friday the 11th till the 22nd of November, to October 31st, is the trailer. You know how they send you the trailer and you wanted to go see Black Panther so bad, or whatever you wanted to go see? That's a trailer. So what you see tonight, what just happened, is a preview of what's coming at the most intense point on October 31st to December the 22nd. Yes, 23 days of catching them elbows. So tonight, my job is to help you learn how to bob and weave and be intelligent. All right. Then the second part, October 31st to November 22nd, is the actual movie. But the movie's playing in reverse. The movie's playing in reverse, and a lot of people are still going to try to keep their car and drive and be going forward. But you need to be moving back so you can see things. You can see things how they really are when you move backwards. But the body is, our conscious mind is like, I'm not used to that. But it really is trying to line up with the planets if you will just notice what's coming, right? So then the third phase, uh, the third phase is the encore. The encore. So whatever it was tragedy or whatever the functions went down, it's just not as intense as you go back forward again and walk through the movie. And it's kind of like on a fast forward now, but you're still seeing the same thing again for the third time. So watch my finger. We're going here, that's phase one. Phase two is going backwards, and then phase three, and then it leaves and goes on. So look how many times it passes my chin. So it's going to pass my chin 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. So we call it like layering. We're going to layer. You're layering the cake, all retrograde. So all planets do retrograde except for the moon and the sun. But Mercury, Mars, Venus, all of that. And if you will, just one of your Googles will be Mercury retrograde calendar. All right. And then we're going to discuss this evening about your money up under this Mercury retrograde, because you're going to be reevaluating your strategy and how you think about things. This is a natural process. I tell people who get upset about Mercury retrograde is the same thing like being upset about a woman being on her cycle. It's nature. Mercury retrograde happens 3 times a year. But we're talking about money, I'll probably be using the charts. There's bulls is when the charts are going up, and bears is when it's going down. It's never going to be going up forever, and it's never going to be going down forever. There's an attitude when it's going up, and there's an attitude when it's going down. they're different attitudes, but they're all about making money. Okay. Vaughn says, I'm doing my Mercury retrograde on your birthday. Your birthday is one day. Mercury retrograde lasts from October the 11th all the way to December the 7th. So a lot of people, you know, some Libras, some Scorpios, most of the Scorpios, y'all are going to be up under a Mercury retrograde. As a matter of fact, yeah, all Scorpios are going to be catching this, and it's in Mercury, and it's in the sign of Scorpio. So the sign of Scorpio means transformation, my desires, and other people's money. So now we got Mercury retrograde going backwards in other people's money. It's going backwards in your secrets, and it's going backwards in the way that you transform. And Mercury is like the deepest sign. Pisces isn't the deepest. Pisces is the foggiest. The foggiest, the furthest out. The weirdest, as Jasmine says. Jasmine says all Pisces are weird. She don't, and you can call her weird, and she was like, yeah, I'm a Pisces. So, but whatever sign, write this down. The chart is your university. The houses are the classrooms. The professors are the planets, or the planets are the professors. And the signs are the curriculum. The chart is the university. The houses are the classrooms. The planets are the professors. The signs are the curriculum. And you are the chancellor, which is the most important part. So Mercury is actually a professor in your university. So the chancellor doesn't answer to the professor answers to the chancellor. And the chancellor actually hired the professor to teach a lesson. So you were born with Mercury in your chart, in a house, in a sign. But then there's the transiting professor, the Mercury that moves all the time, that's constantly moving, the one we're talking about. So anybody born right now, Mercury is going forward, but if they're born after the 31st, they'll be born with a Mercury in retrograde. And somebody asked me, do people born with Mercury in retrograde, are we, because I have it, are we exempt from the trials and tribulations of Mercury? No, we're not exempt from the benefits either. All right. So, of course, people are still texting. Thank you so much. Now, why do we want to have a class about the money? Because, Jasmine, will you explain one more time about here and tax season? Let me take you, can you take yourself off mute? I got it. Go ahead.
Okay, so this has been my experience over the last couple of years working with clients. This time of year is crunch time. It's tax season, it's holiday season. You've got everything from Yom Kippur to Kwanzaa, Christmas, all of those amazing things, all the things that people want to celebrate and do with their families. This is also the time where hours are cut because companies are trying to save money, jobs are lost, those that didn't plan accurately in the beginning of the year for the end of the year, and now you get to October, November, December, and you're scrambling at the end of the year for your finances to be able to provide for your family, especially those of you that have little ones. So what I want to do and what I want to see everyone do is not struggle. See, what happens is people spend all their money during holiday season, all their money during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, they buy cars, they do all this stuff, and then they're struggling and they're broke between November and January, February, or March, depending on if you get a tax return at all, or if it's late, or if it even shows up. And then I get bombarded with emergency magic. Can you do a money spell? I'm late on my rent. The car note's not paid. Can't get Christmas gifts. Blah, 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 blah. So because Mercury retrograde has fallen at the beginning of the time where everybody's getting ready to rent out and start spending money on the things that they want to have finishing out the end of the year and planting those seeds for the new year, it's imperative that you protect your assets. There's nothing worse than getting your hours cut during this time of year, or, and I can speak from experience as a business owner, people are trying to save money for holidays, so they're not spending in certain areas and they're spending their money elsewhere. And you want to make sure that you're able to keep yourself financially afloat moving forward. So that's why this is so important to get ahead of it right now. So December 1st, you're not counting your pennies and trying to figure out how you're going to provide for everybody and pay your bills through the end of the year until your tax return comes as well. Yes.
Yeah. So there's also a button down at the bottom if you want to raise your hand. So here's the real long-term picture. Jasmine showed you the short-term picture. Everything she said is correct. But why are you not having a luxurious Christmas holiday anyway? Can everybody type how much you would like to spend in holidays expenditures from October to December the 4th? How much would you like to spend? Just think about it. How much would you like to spend? Everybody type in a number right now. How much would you like to spend from October through the holiday season? That includes travel, gas, food, visiting people, gifts. Even if you don't celebrate the holidays, what would be a nice budget? I see 2,500. To me, that's not enough. I want to spend $5,000 because I want to get everybody something. I want 2,000. I see some 5,000s. Clint said he need 50,000. I saw 50,000. I saw 8K, 10,000, 5,000, 7,000. See, this is honesty. You see what I'm saying? I want to be Clint's friend too. He's talking he need 50 grand just for those 4 months. Well, guess what? He acts like it the rest of the year.
Woo!
Let me just stop right there. Acting like it. Christmas is coming, like this, the first of the month is coming. 65K, Gabrielle says she needs. I want to be her friend too. 5,000, 1,000, 5,000. Oh, I see some good numbers up here. 10,000. Now, let's look at this. One sister said, so she doesn't know. So her money is not on her mind, and her mind is not on her money, because everybody had a number real quick. Jasmine, I'm coming because I know you're getting ready to jump in on that limiting character. I know what you're getting ready to do. I know what you're getting ready to do. So it's real important that you have your mindset ready for these things all year long. So when something comes up and you need an extra $2,500, you already have it. And you're not thinking about putting the internet in your child's name, or going to payday advance, or pawning the title on your car, or claiming other exemptions so you can get more money on your taxes. You already had the money coming in. My favorite book on this particular subject is called Big Bucks. Everybody type in cha-ching. When you focus on cha-ching, that's the sound of the cash register. When you focus on cha-ching, then you don't worry about expenditures, because if you're going to make more than $5,000 in a year or $65,000 in a year, focus on the cash register ringing. I don't care if you're doing Forex or mopping floors or doing eyebrows or braiding hair or making jewelry or dressing candles. I don't care what it is. Focus on what's coming in. Stop being so afraid of your losses. And that right there starts to go into the limiting character. As I switch back over to Jasmine, who had her hand raised, she wants to teach a little bit. We're coming back. We're going to open up for questions, but we like to get this off first and then let you come in with all your personal questions afterwards. Go ahead.
So what Spirit said to me is minimum money mindset. And I had a friend tell me last year, he thought he was doing it big because he starts saving for Christmas in July. And I'm like, saving for Christmas? Why are you saving? Why you ain't got it? You feel me? You shouldn't have to save. You should already have it. Your money mindset should already be there. I'm thinking about this time next year right now. And I love everybody's answers, not to put anyone down, but these answers right here are all, your limiting character is speaking. Your limiting character is showing they ass right about now. Because I'm just going to say this. Anybody that says they only want $5,000 for Christmas, that's bullshit. If you could have $50,000, you'd have a real nice holiday season. Okay. Your limiting character will keep you $2,000. That's okay, Karen. I get it. But it will keep you stuck in that mentality over and over. Why have $2,000 for Christmas when you could manifest $200,000 and spend your Christmas on a tropical island somewhere? Personally, I don't even want to be here for Christmas. So the limiting character definitely will come in and say, I just need just enough to buy those presents and buy a ham or a turkey or decorate the tree. And then you're broke until March because you're trying to figure out your financial situation because you overspent during the holiday season. That's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to point out to people how that limiting character, and a lot of these answers are false that people posted. They really are. Everybody posted 1/3 of the amount of money they truly wish they had to celebrate the holidays.
Jasmine is pulling cards on y'all. What, you have your tarot deck? What are you trying to do? Are you pulling cards on jokers just that hard? Yeah. Okay. Look, now the answers are changing. Now the answers are changing now since she called y'all out. We're giving you permission to be yourself here. We're giving you permission to be yourself here. Now I'm going to be really honest because I don't mind if you model after me and then go further than me. I need so much money that I gave away so many things and so many gifts during the year because I felt like it, that you dare not ask me for anything during the holidays. I can go to anybody's house year round and I'll be like, where's your birthday? You know, I brought this gift for you. And you say, no. You've already given me over, like $10,000 worth of stuff already this year. Just for me being in your cipher, you're gifting me all these things. I don't want you to give me nothing else. And then we have to argue about you taking my present. That's where I want to be at. Where I want a yearly budget. I already said $50,000 a month is my operating capital. $50K a month is my operating capital. How much is $1 million a year? Let's talk about money mindset. Get your money house in order. How much is $1 million a year? Anybody, come on. How much is $1 million a year? You're taking too long. That means none of you have thought about it. Is eyes closed, not reading. $83,333.33 per month. That's $1 million.
$2,000, $2,873 a day.
Boom. Somebody got a money mindset in here. Okay, so that's how this is working, right? You must have your mind on your money. Stop thinking about helping people. That's your limiting character. I want to help so many people, but you ain't got no money. You ain't got your mind on your money. You got your mind on helping people, which really is an excuse. So if you read the book, The Magic of Thinking Big, it talks about people suffering from this disease called excusitis. So your limiting character and excusitis goes together with a sandwich called loser. See the L? See how I did that? Limiting character, excusitis put together, you become a loser. So $83,333.33 a month. Then you divide that by the day, and then as Sincere came in, he says it's like 2,000 and some change per day. That's a goal. Now, if you want to take a zero off of that, then you're gonna need to be making $200 and some a day, and you got to make $8,000 a month. That's 7 days a week. So we got to start thinking about passive income. But you got to fix some of the holes in your boat, which is what we're going to let Clint talk about. Clint doesn't just trade. Clint also has partnered with a company that is trying to save families by showing you on paper, digitally, how to get your whole head together from somebody who's already doing it. Not just, I can talk about it and I'm ready for it. Do you know why most lottery players, lottery people lose all their money? They lose all their money because they got the money, but their mind wasn't ready. My mind's ready. So now I know the money's coming. Because I've been working on my mind for years and years and years. Now here come the money. You got to work on your mind. I even have my own, in the Jade Emperor group, they've been empowered with all this power. Hold on. Let's represent real quick. Ow, mine is gold flaked out. Because we're going to ask you what your altar game is looking like. Do you have a Jade Emperor somewhere close to your computer desk? Because I trade right here. So I got the Jade Emperor right here. I have Ganesha. Like, do you have something that reminds you of your money mindset 24/7? Jasmine, I saw your hand being raised over there. I'm unmuting your microphone. Yes, ma'am.
You know, I just wanted to say that when you spend money on broke people, when you help your sister-in-law, your mother-in-law, your whoever, when you stop giving. Your money is energy. Let me explain something to you. You trade your time for energy, whatever it is, whether you're self-employed or you have a job. And then you start trying to, oh, I'm just gonna help. Stop helping broke motherfuckers that don't have the same mindset as you, because they are money vampires. They're energy vampires. The more you give, the more they'll take, the more you're gonna stay in the position that you were in. Bottom line. And you know what? I'm sorry. We all have those people in our life that we love and, oh, but they family. No, fuck that. Everybody that's broke that I know, they done got X'd off the list, especially now that my phone is rebooted. I don't have nobody's number. Stop sharing, lending, giving your energy, especially you women, the men you sleeping with, loaning them money for gas and all that bullshit. Stop giving your money to these money hungry vampires. That's why you're broke. Okay, I'm done. Continue.
Okay, so let's get into how this retrograde will affect the different signs. All right. So some of you know your rising sign, some of you don't. So who knows where your Mercury is at? If you do not know where your Mercury is at in your chart, press 0 so I can see. But if you do know where your Mercury is at, don't press anything. Okay, so I see some zeros that don't know how. Clint, I showed you last night, but it's okay. We're going to show you. I'm going to show y'all one more. I'm going to show y'all again. No problemo. All right. Let me close that down for a second. So if you go to Planet Watcher, this is the easiest one. No, it's not. You know what? It ain't. Alabi is the easiest. For what I'm about to show you, you really don't have to know what time you were born right now. Not for this exercise, because we're not doing a full natal chart reading. We're not doing a full natal chart reading. We're just doing only. All righty. So if you come here and you click on free birth chart, you don't have to put your name in because that doesn't matter. You don't even have to put the right sex in because we're only looking for one thing. We're just looking for where's Mercury. All right. And it doesn't even matter. Well, now I am going to use my real birthday. All right. I'm not even going to, I'm going to leave it at 12 o'clock. It doesn't matter. There's Atlanta, Georgia, and then I'm going to hit submit. What I'm looking for is the Mercury astrology symbol. And I'm going to hit images. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for Mercury. This is Mercury right here. Okay? We're looking for this planet and we're looking for it over here. And there's the planet right there. So everybody should be able to find their Mercury. That's it. Now, If you scroll down, if you keep scrolling down, guess what they're going to tell you? They're going to tell you where your Mercury is at. Look at there. Mercury is at 13 degrees Taurus. So if you don't know what the signs are, you'll be able to just scroll down right up under this and it will tell you. It'll have some things about you, but I don't want y'all focusing on this right now. You can come back to this like for the rest of your life. The only information I care about right now is where is your Mercury? Where is it at? Okay. So now I'm gonna ask again. Does everybody? Okay, I see. So now there should be no more zeros. There should be no more zeros. Everybody should be able to find their Mercury. I'm going to get my board real quick. Hold on. Oh, my other piece is in the thing. Ow. Ah. All right, all right. How much does the planet placement degrees matter? None right now. What we looking for? Well, I'll answer that question. The further along each planet, the planet goes from 0 to 29. The further you are along, the higher the number, the closer to 29, the more you are of that, what you are reading about. So I'm 13 degrees Taurus. That means I'm right in the middle. I'm at the 14th degree of Taurus because it starts at 0 and 29 is last. 29 degrees is, so and it's divided into deacons. So 0 to 9 is the first deacon, 10 to 19 is the second deacon, and 20 to 29 is the third deacon. But that doesn't matter right now. That doesn't matter right now. I'm just wanting you to just only get the knowing where your Mercury is at right now. All right. So let me come off the share. And all of you have seen my toy. This is my, the planets don't want to come off. So everybody's seen this before, right? This is my 3-dimensional astrological board. This is like my wife. She never lies. She gives me all the mathematics I want, right? So I'm about to go through and we're going to talk about if your Virgo is in Aries. I'm going to do all 12 signs, okay? I'm going to do all 12 signs, so just listen really careful. I'm going to start with Scorpio because Mercury is in Scorpio right now, and that's where the retrograde is happening at. So if you have, and I'm going to go in order, so I'm going to go Mercury, Sagittarius, Capricorn, all the way around, all right? So if you have Mercury in Scorpio, or if you have Mercury in the first house, so if you're a Scorpio rising, or you have Mercury in Scorpio, it's going to be about your personality. There's going to be the upheaval of secrets in your personality because the first house is your personality. If you have Mercury in Sagittarius, that's the house of money. So it might be some secrets or some deep things revealed concerning your personal value or your money. If Mercury is in the third house or it's in Capricorn, then it's going to be about how you communicate with people. It's going to be about how you communicate with people, all right? If Mercury is in Aquarius, then it's going to be about your home life and things coming up from your past and how you grew up. Because if you have Mercury in the fourth house, it's a hard square on the Mercury that's transiting in Scorpio. So it's going to be something from your past. All of it's going to be things from the past, but yours is going to be specific with home life. If you have Mercury in Pisces, it's going to be something about your children or how you like to have fun or something related to love and sex, but it's going to be secret. Always remember the key word for Scorpio is secret, transformational, and death. So there could be an ending to these things. Keywords, and all we're doing is just putting keywords together. We're just putting keywords together. If your Mercury is in Aries, it's going to be about your job. It's going to be about how you serve the community. If you have children, you should be writing all of this down. If you have kids, you should be writing all of this down. If you got one kid, it's easy. I think Clint Eastman got about 14 children. This is going to be tough, but he can catch the replay. I'm just joking. But now you know about your children, because as a parent, I need, I feel so, obligated to what about my children? I want to give them guidance, you know what I'm saying, in their life. If you have Mercury in Taurus, Lord have mercy, relationships, good gracious. Now, it doesn't mean that this is the only place it can hit you, but this is numero uno. This is where the bullseye is at, and it could splatter. But if you have Mercury in Taurus, that's relationships, right? And how you relate, how you partner, how you debate with folks. You people who have Mercury in Taurus, like me, I'm gonna really have to hold and keep my calm so I don't get drawn into unnecessary arguments, right? I'm looking for open enemies to come out after me again. If you have Mercury in Gemini, this is in your marriage or your whatever transformational process you're going through, this is going to come up, or whoever you're having serious sex with. And it definitely may also affect your money if you have Mercury in Gemini, because that's the 8th house of Scorpio, all right? That's digging deep. If it's in Cancer, if Mercury is in Cancer, this is your philosophy is about to get up, is about to turn up. It's about to turn up. Yes, yes, yes. So you may find out that you're wrong. And if you got Mercury in Capricorn, you don't ever want to be wrong, ever. You love being right. You love going by the rules. But that's the danger that you have, because you could bite down on something and then never want to let it go. But guess what? Your hand will be broken before you think you can hold on in Capricorn up under Mercury retrograde with this transiting Mercury in Scorpio. If Mercury is in Leo, in your natal chart, this is about how people see you in the public eye. This is all about the rules and the regulations as well. And what are you known for? What are you synonymous for? What are you famous for? This could happen for you, all right? And if your Mercury is in Virgo, this is your friends. You're gonna find out some stuff about your friends. You're gonna find out about stuff on the internet, because the Virgo is the 11th house of Scorpio. So that's friends, social meetings, organizations, fraternities, and stuff like that. So you're gonna find out about who your real friends are. You could get hammered from somebody above you who's a friend, or somebody could pull you up and give you a lookout. They could like go down and be like, come here, give me your hand, I'm gonna pull you up, right? And then if your Mercury is in Libra, oh my goodness. Well, Libra's already relationships as well, but that's the 12th house. So this is like the hidden of hidden, subconscious affairs, mental breakdowns, alcohol. You people with Mercury in Libra, you can't drink until December. Really, you should just chill, just drink more coffee or something like that. Just relax on the alcohol. If you smoke weed, I'm in the cannabis game, but I would come down on the smoking. I definitely wouldn't ride with anything in the car. You want to call Uber if you're doing anything like that. Okay, so hold on, let me so that covered everybody. Okay, somebody said they've been dreaming about Freddy Krueger. Everybody found it. Okay, do I got any comments? Do I got any comments on that, or any questions about your placement? Now, of course, I can get real detailed on it, because there's so much other stuff going on that starts to integrate with your Mercury, because all the lines, See these lines that are coming from Mercury? See this green line right here? See these green and blue lines right here and these red lines? They're coming from Saturn and Mercury. And they're going over here. And they're being affected. If a line is coming from a planet, it's being affected by another planet. And this is called an aspect, A-S-P-E-C-T-S. You could have hundreds, or you could have 20, or you could have, I don't know, most people have at least 15 aspects going on in their chart. So I'm not going to go through everybody's chart about aspects tonight. I'm just giving you the overall sense of where this thing is happening to you. Okay? Now, that was the first interpretation. Nah, that's it. That's all I got right there. Anything else, I would have to like super drill down. My Mercury change sign, when I put my birth time in, which one should I use? You're going to use the one with your birth time. Use whatever you have on the birth certificate, even though it's there's an 85% chance of it being wrong. If you don't know your birth time, it's okay. Inbox me tomorrow or later on tonight, and I'll show you I will get your birth time for you. That's what I do as a professional astrologer. I help verify birth times, okay? See if they're right, see if they're wrong, and help you get the correct birth time, okay? What else did I want to add? Now, what does Mercury rule? Mercury rules the mind. So that's why if you've been coming to these first 7 classes, we had a skull candle. So I highly recommend everybody be burning a skull candle for clear thoughts. You need clarity when you're seeing these things. And that's, hold on, let me show Jasmine's, yes. A lot of people are frustrated because things aren't moving as fast as they want. That's a skull candle. This is to help clear your thoughts. The white one is, okay? I don't want you to be like, oh, I'm gonna get a green one because I want to keep my mind on my money. No, listen, you want to keep your head crystal clear. Jasmine, do you want to comment on that, about anything that they could put into their skull candle to make it more effective? Oh, wait, I gotta take you off mute.
Okay, absolutely. And I sat here at 4 in the morning and I started working on my skull candle today. Not knowing you were going to bring this up in class, but I've inscribed on it. It's been sitting here. I've been talking to her, talking to myself. So you want to get yourself a skull candle. Absolutely correct. In white, any type of skull candle. And a couple of things that I like to use with it is coconut oil. That's for clearing away. So we want to clear away the mental fog, the distractions, the limiting character. And I would suggest using clove, either clove powder or whole cloves. And that is a commanding spice. And as you're anointing your candle and putting your cloves on there, you want to command it for what you want. You want clarity. You want to make sound decisions. You want to act rationally versus emotionally. You want to be able to hear and feel and sense the proper information that's being channeled for you to make the best decisions possible. And whatever is coming in that's trying to sneak up and play its games on you that can trip you up, you want to make sure that you are able to keep that at bay.
Yes. Mercedes said, I have Capricorn, and well, this may be, I'm gonna answer a couple questions. Somebody said having a hard time finding a white skull candle. Jasmine, where'd you get yours? Hey, Jasmine's in Los Angeles. They got them all day. Go to Amazon or just type in white skull candle on Google and hit enter and then click on shopping. They are everywhere. Does the retrograde have any effects if I was born during the post shadow? 1,000,000%. 1 million, but you got to go back and do the math and see, was it post shadow? Like, go back, you got to go all the way back and pull up a chart for that year and start going backwards. That's why you can use Planet Watcher. You can use Planet Watcher and quickly go back to the year that you were born or your birthday and look around and see. All right. What was another? Mercury. She says, I have Capricorn in my 5th house, but it's in the 3rd house of Scorpio. So it's Scorpio, then it's Sagittarius, then it's Capricorn. So that's the 3rd house of Scorpio. So that's a sextile. The retrograde Mercury is sextiling, Sextil, is sextiling your natal Mercury. And so that's why I say that's the way you communicate. But if you do know what house it's in, the 5th house, you just also do the math on the 5th house. The 5th house is what? Children. The 5th house is fun. The 5th house is love, casual sex, adventures, and being creative. So now you put both of those together, communication and the 5th house, which is the house of fun and love. You put all that together. So astrology, a lot of people come at it very linear. You see what I'm saying? But you have to it's just like when you start reading charts, you got to put candles together. We're calling them candlestick patterns. So there's astrological patterns that are happening in your charts that are going to help you. Okay. All right. Can I use a candle from Walmart as long as it's a skull candle? Hell yeah. Okay. Now, books. Let me get my books out the way, and then y'all start typing questions if you have questions. They don't have to be astrological questions. We're looking for business questions, branding questions, webinar, just questions about money. If you need a ritual for some money, if you need a plan, if you have an ideal you want us to look at and say, boom, here's a way you could go, or we're going to identify what your limiting character is. So if it's your first class, we're not trying to embarrass you. This is a family type thing. And we want to make sure we go to the root of things, not just looking at the symptom. Okay. Because I'm still coming from the wide range. Why don't you have $5,000 to spend? Or why don't you have $500 to spend? Or, it's a festive season. Why are you saving at this time? Why don't you have it to spend? There's something going on with you that's limiting your pockets. And we want to get to the root of it to get your money house in order. Are you focused too much on debt? Just because you have a lot of debt don't mean you should focus a lot on debt. Okay. Man, I was just channeling that. What was I saying before that? Jasmine, is it your turn? What were you about to say?
So we're going to take some questions in a second. No, you explained that eloquently.
Okay, good. Can we start a business now? How long have you been working on the business? Have you been working on the business before October the 11th? Okay. So transactions, oh my goodness, money, refunds, RE, the first word in RE, in refunds. Be careful with your transactions. Be careful about rushing to do something. If you want to start a business now, why are you trying to start the business? Are you trying to start the business because you want to catch the Christmas rush, but you know you're not ready? Then you could be heading for disaster. So I can't tell you if you can or if you can't. You can do anything you want to. Should you is really up to, after I give you the information, what does your heart say? What do the circumstances around you say? Are you watching the circumstances? Or are you just like, this has got to be what I want. This has got to be what I want. But Mercury's trying to say, slow down for a second, Malaysia. Slow down for a second. I don't want you to do that right now because that's not right for you. But you have some agenda that's really not yours, because it could be your mother's agenda from when you were little. When you hear women start talking about, oh, I'm almost 30. I need to be getting pregnant soon. You don't even know how to relate. You ain't even got no boyfriend. You ain't even done nothing. You had sex with like 3 people your whole life, and now you're talking about you want to have a kid? Hey, what about your circumstances? What are the circumstances around you? So awareness. Do any of you have money goals? Do you even have a value on your minute? What are you worth per minute? If I was to come talk to you about something, whatever you know about, what would you charge per minute for me to talk to you? And what's your ideal situation? Not right now. So what is your value right now per minute? Somebody said, I started a travel agent business last Monday. Should I wait until December to make some bigger moves to get my 83,000? First off, you're not going to get 83,000 in 3 months unless you're already making 60,000 or 70,000. Like, circumstances and being realistic. A lot of times we miss money marks because we're not realistic. I could use these examples. I wanted to get into trading and trade Bitcoin so I could hurry up and get to $10,000 because I wasn't going to make any mistakes. Shit. I want to say that real quick. That right there didn't go down like that. Go ahead, Jasmine.
No. Keep going because I'm seeing some of these ritual questions coming up and I want to address those.
Okay. Somebody said my circumstances are janky trying to rise as an artist. So if your circumstances are janky, how do you get them from not being janky? And that's too broad too. Somebody will tell you that. They've been in the class before. Please don't put broad things in there like my circumstances are janky. Like say my mama is on my nerves. My wife is doing this. My husband is not having sex with me. You got to be specific if you want us, because we can't give you a general answer. That's on Facebook. I'm giving you general answers on Facebook. All right.
Well, I got an answer for that. Do you have an altar set up?
Well, we always get into that, don't we? How can you now listen, we're talking about money, but y'all came to a spiritual class. Have you ever been wanting to have insight? I want insight from an ancestor. I want insight from the Jade Emperor. I want insight from Thoth. Thoth rules Mercury, the planet Mercury. He's the god of wisdom. Well, how would I communicate with this person if I don't have a station up? If I don't have a telephone, how can I call Gabrielle on the telephone? This is a device. So an altar in your house is set up for you to talk to, getting help that's outside and bigger than yourself. Why do you need internet? So you can take the CSA 5-step program. How can you study the internet? Study trading that's done digitally if you don't have the proper means, right? And the altar is your secret weapon in your house, especially if you want money. Do you have a money altar? Do you have a money altar, but you want more money? An altar is a sacred place. You want to go to the bank and you want them to be secure with your money. Why you ain't got an altar set up in your house? Oh, and please don't start with the person I stay with this. My children will this. The dogs will this. Excuse-itis. You've learned enough. Don't do that. I sell conjure items, oil, herbs, candles. I take my spiritual journal seriously. I've been doing this for 2 years and I've made good money. So much where I moved out of my parents' house recently. I still feel like I'm not making exactly what I need to make. That's great, but drop your agenda. Drop your agenda and congratulate yourself on what you have accomplished. In 2 years, I know some people have been doing this for 10 years and they still at their mom and daddy house, okay? So pat yourself on the back, but are you doing it by yourself? That's another thing. We talked about over and over, I can fail as an individual. That's why we have Facebook is created. That's an Aquarius 11th house type thing where we can get resources from other people. I asked Latifah last week, she had a goal of getting a house for herself and her newborn child that's on the way, right? I said, are you open to receiving help from other people? Some of y'all want credit for just, I can do it I'm gonna just go at it solo. You're gonna lose like that. Or you're gonna win small. You're gonna win small by yourself or you're gonna lose big. But if you travel with people, then you can start winning bigger. Jasmine, can you get into some of the ritual questions that people are asking?
Absolutely. So I just want to address really quickly with Megan's questions. When she says, I still feel like I'm not making exactly what I need to make. Have you really set a price point value to your services? What do you deserve to make? Do you believe that you deserve to make a certain amount of money? See, there's a part of you, the limiting character says, no, don't charge that because I'm going to lose clientele. Don't charge that because nobody's going to pay it. Don't charge that because I'm going to charge this, because I'd rather charge a smaller amount and make something than not make anything at all. And there's something called the ideal client. If the ideal client can't pay what you're asking for, they ain't the right client. And when you decide what you're worth, the universe will reward you with the clientele to make the amount of money. So what I suggest for you, my love, is to really you need to get real honest with yourself. And, this is where it's okay to be a little egotistical and ask yourself, what am I worth? How much am I providing? What do I want to see come in on a weekly basis? And then ask for it. And combine that. This is perfect. You need a improved business candle. You need a attract customers candle, but those aren't going to work for you until you clearly decide how much it is you want to make. Do those two, and you're definitely going to see some things change. Khayr, I feel like that's what Spirit is telling me for Megan on that issue.
Oh, I'm good on that one. I'm just moving through that's absolutely right. SB says, what should I put on my money altar? You should put things on your money altar that represent wealth. You should put gold on your altar. You should put money on your altar. You should put pictures of successful people on your altar that you admire. Some people don't like Oprah because they say Oprah's with the Illuminati. Well, put Clint Eastman on your altar. Put Andrew Carnegie on your altar. Put Mansa Musa on your altar. Don't put Harriet Tubman on your altar. She didn't have no money. That's not she's an altar. She's somewhere for like helping you be consistent. Harriet Tubman should be on your consistent altar. Malcolm X should be on your fighting altar because he liked to fight. But on your money altar, put people on there who already had incredible amounts of wealth. Go look up the guy who designed those islands in Dubai that weren't there 20 years ago. He designed these islands, and then all of a sudden they were sand dunes. They weren't even sand dunes. And now like all these people are staying out there in these $1 million homes. Who is he?
Mm-hmm.
There's so many people that you could find that were really successful, but some of y'all are arming your altar with broke people. And broke people on this side go over on the other side when they pass. How can they help you? Because they didn't take any money with them. They didn't have any financial wisdom to lend to you. Now, Harriet Tubman can tell me how to get out the way of things. But once I start making money, Harriet Tubman ain't got to talk to me about nothing. Because I got security, or my house is so big, or I stay so far away, I stay in another country, where I don't have to worry about somebody doing anything to me. You understand what I'm saying? And stop putting things on there that reflect your debt. Don't put your bills on your money altar, okay? Keep your bills somewhere else. Write your bills out on it. Like, I don't even call them bills. I call them your financial responsibilities, because that's what they are. When your financial responsibilities come in, open them up, smiling, and write on them with a red pen. I'm so happy and grateful that I can handle my financial responsibilities with ease. I'm so happy and grateful that I can handle my financial responsibilities. You can go on Amazon and order all this money that Jasmine just put on there. You're not spending it. You put it on your altar to represent and say, I see this visualization. Like I have chart stuff all over my house for trading. I think I'm the dopest trader. I'm always talk about more people successful. Jasmine, go ahead. What were you about to say?
Yeah, let me add to that. So first of all, Khayr, I showed you my vision board a few months ago, and you kind of giggled at me, and you were like, yeah, it's neat and it's pretty and all, but you need to revise it.
I said you had too many words on it. Don't leave out what I said. I said pictures. I said you got too many words on it. It's perfect, but you got too many. It's a word board, not a vision board.
Yes. So I revised some things. On my vision board, I have Michelle, Mark Zuckerberg, and Elon Musk. Now, they're pretty damn wealthy, and if you want to, look at what successful is, and you got a former first lady, and I mean, come on now, these are from Amazon. These are $40,000 in $100 bills, and then I've got some other bills here that are so high I can't even count this high because math was never my subject. And I have 2 stacks of these. They're on my money altar, and I have a whole wad that's in a rubber band, and it sits in my purse. And every time I open my purse, I see this stack of money. Ever since I've done this, I have not had to worry about my finances.
Pause right there. Pause right there. Pause right there. That's daily magic. When you do something that reflects what you desire, you are participating in the ritual. So the young lady was asking about, I need a ritual for a court case on November the 8th, a disability court case. Do you have something daily on you that reminds you of winning? So sure, we're gonna like give you something that lets you know what I'm saying, that is gonna help you with your court case. But what are you doing on the foundation though? What are you doing on the foundation? Every time Jasmine looks in her pocketbook, she's performing a ritual. She ain't lighting a candle. She ain't saying a prayer. She's looking in the ritual and seeing all this money. That's a ritual. So she's letting the universe know this is what we're going to do. Okay.
And
please.
Not only that, there are simple, very simple things. Are you anointing your body with money oil every single day? It takes 2 minutes. You put on your body lotion, your cocoa butter, whatever it is, you grease yourself up. Are you putting money oil on? Are you anointing yourself from the feet up and speaking those intentions over yourself? Who is that? iPhone. You want a ritual for a disability court case? Write yourself out a check from the county or the disability office that you are going to court with the amount of money you feel you should be awarded for your case. Print out your court papers and burn a WINS trial candle in blue or in white with some marigold, some brown mustard seeds, and some Just Judge oil. Burn that on your altar if you want to win your court case. See, the thing is, people tend to think that rituals mean, oh, I got to sit at my altar for 30 minutes every day. No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that at all. It means opening your purse and looking at a stack of money every day. It means getting out the shower and putting on your money oil every day. It means saying your affirmations. It means taking your money honey jar and giving it a shake. It means lighting your call money, call client, or better business incense. And the way I know a lot of people aren't working their altar every day is because you have these questions. 1, you should have a money altar set up. 2, every single morning, even if I'm running late, I light an incense every morning. Khayr, you stayed at my house for a whole week. There was at least an incense lit on that altar every morning. So it takes 30 seconds to do something this small and send that SOS signal to the universe. The universe, your angels, ancestors, and spirit guides will reward you for the effort that you put in.
Some of you are saying, what are these things I've never heard of? It's okay, you can find it. Most of it Jasmine has, but it's so many practitioners that have a money oil or a Mercury retrograde oil. You know why it's so easy for so many people to find money oil? Because it changed the people that they were hanging with. You know how you want to start making some money? You hang around people who got money. You hang around 9 broke friends, you're bound to be the 10th one. You ever heard that? Mm-hmm. You hang around 9 mad women who's single, your ass going, I can't find a husband. What kind of women are you hanging around? Are you hanging around any eligible women? Are you hanging around any eligible men? So where did you get your Jade Emperor? Jade Emperors are very hard to find. You can go online right now and type in Jade Emperor statue. Spirit led me to mine. I was in Houston in a hotel. I walked next door to this big ass Chinese store, and they had 3 of them in the front row, and I couldn't find one nowhere else. And I bought 2 of them immediately that day and gave one to a friend of mine who said he was looking for one. Yes, wallet has a mirror in it facing the money to multiply it. It's so many little simple things that you can do, but it's so many little simple things you have to stop doing as well. You have to stop with the regret. Having a citrine or pyrite or tiger's eye in your wallet or hanging on a chain or something like that. I'm just looking for
something else, Khayr.
Yes.
That people tend to forget. Everyone's so busy trying to burn money candles and road opener candles. Did you forget to burn a candle for yourself? you got to sweeten the energy around you. Persons, places, things, and opportunities. Like, don't you like sweet people? Bees like honey and flower. Men like sweet women. Employers like nice people. Get yourself, and you don't have to have this, get yourself a honey and rose candle. Light a sweetening candle for your own energy so that you attract things to you very sweetly. And I caution you, because I had someone that did a money ritual, and she really, really, really wanted this money, and she got it. She got $120,000 from a tragic car accident. She wasn't specific about how she wanted to get her money. She never thought to put a sweetening ritual around her aura. You combine a honey and rose candle or a sweetening candle with your money work and your prosperity work, you will see things change like this, literally like this.
Jasmine, somebody said, I did the money ritual, but I'm not able to bury it. What can I do with the pumpkin now? Can I plant it in my house in a flower pot? I don't think,
I would not do that.
yeah.
Do
Drive somewhere. Just because you
Yeah.
can't plant it in your yard, go somewhere else and plant it. It doesn't have
Yeah.
to be in your house, at your
It
house.
can be in a park. It can be, I don't know. I don't know if is it snowing somewhere, but go somewhere in nature and plant your pumpkin. And when you plant your pumpkin, pour some water as an offering and give it back to nature. Planting the pumpkin in a pot isn't releasing it back to nature. It's kind of containing it where you are. So that's your limiting character telling you you don't have anywhere to bury it.
Yes, and the gods of money or your money angels are watching to see how much effort you're going to put in getting it planted and following instructions instead of finding another way of not doing something. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So you see, I could have just been like, I'm gonna just give everybody's money back tonight and we ain't gonna do the class, or I'll cancel it and we'll do it later. Hell no. This is how I do everything. No, I got a plan B, I got a plan C, I got a plan D. Y'all asses is gonna come over here. You're going to class tonight. We're doing this here, right? So it's really important that you go complete what you start, because then you'll just be finishing that. You'll just be leaving things undone. And then when it comes up to doing a money ritual or a goal or something like that, you already have a habit of saying, well, I haven't been successful in the past at doing this. So just, this ain't gonna work. So I'm going back in the chat room. Trading and investments and being consistent with my spiritual practices are what I need to be doing. I am becoming more aware of what I need to do. I really love to have my own place next year. So now we're talking about long range plans that you're going to need money. So sometimes we have to swing on the same monkey ring for a while before we can reach the other monkey ring. And we don't congratulate ourselves on our little successes because you're so used to beating yourself up, because you're still attached to that person who beats you up, who been beating you up while you was growing up. Oh, you're not rich yet? That last idea didn't work? I thought you was burning candles. And then you start being influenced by other losers, people at the wall of suffering. We're not a wall of suffering team here. You over here with team success. We don't rock the boat. We don't do unprofessional stuff. And love is the law around here. So if somebody has got you jacked up where you, hold on. If somebody got you jacked up and they pouring toxic into you, stop asking them why. Start asking yourself why you still around them. Start separating yourself from them as soon as possible. Okay. What would be a good ritual for improving communication? Meditation. It's gonna get down to the core of it. If you're meditating, your children will see you meditating, because communication sometimes is about being quiet and listening to yourself. That your children are a reflection of you. And meditation will work through the household, and like you got children at home bothering you, Carmelia Brown, and then you got employees at work bothering you. You know what? Guess what the common denominator is? You. How much are you meditating? Are you putting some time into that, quieting your mind? Somebody said, I'm still trying to understand this Planet Watcher. You're not gonna understand it in 2 days. I just gave it to you. Your birthday is tomorrow. You waited to the last minute to try to understand astrology. I only been studying 16 and a half years. So, and I'm still studying and still practicing. So it's going to take a while. You know, there are no shortcuts. That's another thing that we have. You can't get your money in order in 30 days. You can't get your money house in order in 6 months. You can get your mind right, but the circumstances are still going to be there because you have to consistently show that you're doing it every day to show that change. And it's worth it.
One thing, hold on. I want to go back to Camaria's question really quickly. When you say improving communication, how much are you listening? Are you listening to the kids, or are you dismissing them because you feel like whatever they're saying is annoying you or nonsense? When you're being told something at work, is it really that your boss is getting in your ass, or are they really trying to tell you something and you're dismissing it? So how much are you listening and receiving, or are you rebutting it? Even if it's something you don't want to hear, if you take it and digest it, you'll probably start getting a different response from everybody around you.
How long would you keep a sweetening jar is Vera's question.
I keep mine for a whole year, or until everything I put in the jar manifests. I did a video, y'all saw my life today. I just made a new one from the one I did last October that I just buried last weekend.
Jasmine, I've been to your house. You don't have any grass. What you mean you buried it? You don't have any grass.
I buried it under the pomegranate tree. Yes, I do, right around the side. You didn't even see the pomegranate tree out there.
Look how fast she came back at me. She was like, don't worry about it. I buried it. There ain't no excuses. It doesn't matter. If I do have 99% cement, I found one tree and I put it under there. Moon and ascendant in Sagittarius, sun sign Taurus. This lifetime seems to be about addressing my money in so many aspects. Pause. Y'all, nobody's mentioning their North Node. Nobody's mentioning their spiritual destiny. Most of the time people come to me and ask me about their money. They're probably doing something crazy in the spirit realm. So let me go and show you what the symbol for the North Node is. This is the North Node. When you find the North Node in your chart, that's your spiritual destiny. This is the North Node. My nephew said it looks like a set of headphones. So I like to go with the North Node, find out where that's at, get really deep with this this is my spiritual GPS. Are you even headed in this direction? It doesn't matter how much money you don't have or how much money you do have. Remember Puffy said more money, more problems? It ain't more money, more problems. It's more money, more potential. But you still have the potential to move faster in the wrong direction spiritually. And you can't keep just throwing money at all of your problems. You got to take care of what you're supposed to be doing for real. Like, why did you come down here? I started my business about 2 years ago, and I'm wondering what ritual I can do during this Mercury retrograde to prepare and gain customers for a big show that was coming up in November. I make jewelry using crystals. I really, like you're asking me for emergency magic. Do you have your ideal customer named out, Capri? Who is your ideal customer? And it must be one person. So the way you just told me about the moon and ascendant in Sag and the sun in Taurus and Mercury in Gemini and the life path is 8, who's your ideal client? Are they white? Are they black, male, female? Do they have children? Are they single? Do they work in tech? Are they conscious, unconscious? Do they go to church? Are they Muslims? So if you want to sell more things and attract more customers to a big show or a small show, I want you to attract customers consistently. Why are you asking for customers just at one big show? I want customers where I have to be like, damn, I'm tired as hell. I need an assistant. That's a good ass ritual. I got so many people coming that I cannot keep up. I love these incense that you should be burning every day that Jasmine is showing. Call clients. And I put them, Look at that call money. Hold on up there, Malaysia. Look at Malaysia stunt. Malaysia wants some of the action too. Look at that. Absolutely.
Yes. Yep.
So put that and what do you want your customers to bring you? You want your customers to bring you money. So you burn the incense while it's sitting on top of $100 bill, not a $5 bill, because now you calling fives. I'm calling hundreds. Hundreds bring fives. Hundreds bring 20s. Hundreds bring 50s. Okay. So I want you to know, I want you to tell me who is your ideal customer. Somebody says I'm battling 1,000, been working close to 65 hours per week and haven't made time for meditation. Today was my first day off in 9 days. I need to do better. Your productivity is not going to go up because you work more hours. Your productivity will go up if you put more time into yourself. I see a lot of North Nodes and Sag, Aries, North Node Libra in the 11th. What can I do to help me decide on what business ideal to do? I have difficulty deciding on what to do. It feels like I try to jump on every new thing I see or think I like. What keeps me from doing anything at all? Because you don't have a coach. You don't have a business coach. You don't even have a business partner that helps you on the one business. You need a new circle. You probably got so many people that you're trying to prove that your business can be successful because you don't want to go back to work for somebody else, that you aren't getting any coaching from anybody. You gotta slow down and get some help from people. I succeed as a part of all and fail as an individual. And I used to be like that too. I had to jump on everything I saw. This is the one, this is the one, this is the one. Maybe you need a reading about not just your North Node, but what is your incarnation objective? Whew. People be into so many, like, what's your incarnation objective? You think you incarnated down here just to be hopping around from one thing to another? Maybe, but what if that's not it? What if you in a hurry going the wrong way? I feel like the house it falls in is more important than the sign. That's what Megan says. Okay, I can't debate that right now. Next question. For those looking to get into trading, I advise meditating before hitting the charts. Uh-oh, crypto hustler. See, family? See how we contributing together now? And do understand that human emotions move the money. Energy and motion, emotion move the currency. Or moon money, money. Learn the psychology of humans and you will know the psychology of the charts. Technical analysis is still needed, though you will better understand the market sentiment, especially at times of high volatility. Pause on what he's saying. He's using a different language. He's speaking the language of money. Just like if this is your first time talking about, well, how should I set up my altar? How should I talk to them? Kaya, what's that prayer that you be saying all the time? You have to learn a new language. You have to learn a new language, you know what I'm saying, of how you are going to start speaking these things. But if you don't know the language, then it's not going to come to you. Unpause. He said, watch the moon phases also, as the moon is an effect on human emotion. So does the human emotion have an effect on markets. Oh my God. So this is going to be real crazy. So some of you will not know what I'm about to show you, and that's okay. But I'm just going to show you how these people are not playing around here with this astrology. So this is an example. I'm probably warming it up for Clint right now because I really want y'all to hear what he has to say. And then I'm going to let Jasmine come in with the ritual. Really, I want Jasmine to give out that pumpkin ritual one more time and give out the Mercury retrograde ritual. And then I want to bring Clint on because I don't know how late he's staying up or if he got to get to the markets or something like that. Come on, open up here. Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. So what I'm about to show you, just that, is a chart of something. I don't know. It might be cryptocurrency. Yeah, this is Bitcoin, right? And you see it going up and then you see it going down. I only have one indicator. I got a lot of stuff going on, but watch when I hit this little button over here. Can everybody see this top left corner right here? Y'all see what I'm highlighting? Jasmine, can you see what I'm highlighting right there?
Yep. Okay,
you see that eye right there in the corner? Watch what happens when I hit it. Ooh, Now, why does TradingView have a chart of Bitcoin and have moon phases on it?
Mm.
You don't have to know how to read it. Don't worry about what it says, why you got this over here, Kair. But why does this company have moon phases set up on here? What do they, why would they even go to the trouble to monitor the new moon and the full moon and tell you what day there's a, there's a new moon here, there's a full moon here. This dark one, this one is the, like, why would they even have that on there? Like, look, why would they have this little moon here? Or why would they have this moon here? Why would they even put that on there? And then why would they have a button where I can just take it away? Oh, because you know what? Some people ain't even thinking about that. Yeah, why would they even have the moon phases? And I've been telling y'all about what? Get the Moon Magic course, Moon Magic 28. Learn how to watch these phases. So I already knew the moon magic. I already understood rituals, but I didn't understand trading. I said, it's got to be the next thing. Show me. And so then I started 2 years ago. Am I rich yet? Hell no. I mean, I'm rich to me, but my bank account doesn't show like all my experiences. Okay, human emotions. Let me keep it moving. North Node in the 11th house, Mercury M Cap in the 5th. You said I deal with communication with others. North Node Pisces in the 7th house. How can I use that to make money and keep money both for the company I work for and myself while in retrograde? Have you studied have you went back and looked at what your North Node is? I want you to revisit your North Node intensely. Everybody quit talking about where's my moon at. I was getting my hair done today and I asked somebody her birthday. She was a Pisces and she didn't know who I was. She said, oh, I'm March the 4th. I was like, oh, you team Pisces. She was like, do you want to know my moon and my rising sign? I said, no, I want to know your Mercury. She was like, I don't know where that's at. I said, I know you don't know where it's at because you're trying to stunt on somebody. You shouldn't be trying to. How can you stunt with just 2 things? That's like a woman. Never mind. I'm not going to use any sexual innuendos tonight unless I get real riled up. Y'all stop laughing because some of y'all know what I was getting ready to say. Fact, somebody said, my lady said, I need a business partner. I'm supposed to be teaching and traveling internationally through fame. You do, but you can't do it by yourself. How about it's 60 people in this room? Why you ain't working with nobody in here? Somebody will be getting private messaged. Somebody will be getting private messaged and being like, hey, I was looking at some of your comments saying you're in like a similar business than I am. What's what? Like for me, anybody can trade. Anybody can trade. Like you just need to take the time and have a good teacher. I was up until 5 a.m. watching the pumpkin and Mercury ritual videos on YouTube. Ding, ding, ding. What's a good starting amount to get started with Forex? $0. Uh-oh, wait a minute. What you mean $0? Because you should have a paper account and not be trading with any money for at least 3 months. For 3 to 6 months, you shouldn't have any money in a Forex account. That's how much. So the answer is 0. How much should I open my Forex account with? 0. But if you want to put $1,000 in there, but you haven't practiced, you might as well just send me 500, send Jasmine 500, or this next time just pay for a whole bunch of people to come to class and just spend the money on us, because that's what's going to happen to her. WD Gann set the pace for all of us. Did somebody see what Clint just wrote? Oh my God. I just want to hear what he got to say about WD. WD Gann was the astrologer. Hold on one second. I'll be right back. I don't even know if Clint knows this. I'll be right back. Watch this. Okay. So I'm gonna give y'all a piece of history. WD Gann. Watch this, everybody. This book is called Numerology for Beginners. That's sort of important, but does anybody have a book that has this logo on it? Llewellyn. Llewellyn is the publisher of this book right here. I don't know if you can see it. I'm trying to get right up on the camera. Llewellyn Worldwide. Llewellyn Worldwide is the publisher of this book. The guy who started this company was named George Llewellyn. Sacred Tarot. I was telling Jasmine about this. What does that say? The Brotherhood of Light. Who wrote this book? C.C. Zane. C.C. Zane wrote this book. C.C. Zane and Llewellyn and W.D. Gann were the three-headed monsters. So we had Llewellyn and Zane who were doing, so he had two people who were just all into magic and tarot while he was into the finances. But he didn't tell anybody. So he had a team with him. Stop trying to do this by yourself, everyone. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Get you some help. I'll be allowed to manifest Moon Magic 28 for a year now. Remember, if you're in this course, the code is KEEP50 for $50 off, for 50% off. So you just go to moonmagic28.com. It's a $100 course, one time only. And then you learn all the cycles. You'll map out all next year's moon cycles, the year after that, for the rest of your life. You'll teach your children, you know, all the moon cycles for $50. Moonmagic28.com. Put in KEEP50 is the code. North Node is spirituality, I believe. Forex Rob just raised his hand. Rob, you got a question? Sarab Kozir, you had your hand raised?
Double the tender brown meat baked in that rich, cheesy, mouth-watering. Hello, can you hear me?
I can't hear you. Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing? So today is my first session on with Clint Eastman. He invited me over for today. I'm very intrigued of a lot of the stuff that I'm hearing, but I'm lost. Like lost. So help. I mean, how should I get it started? What should I do? I have no idea.
Tell me.
Stuff done. The stuff that you show, I have those done, but I'm lost. So help.
But guess what? You're lost in the right house. You're not lost in the street. You're lost in the place where you can get help. So you're not lost. You're just unfamiliar. You're unfamiliar, but everybody in here can help you with at least one little thing. So the first thing I would tell you is rub shoulders with the people in the room. Send me a Facebook request. Start talking to me. Start building relationships. Don't try to learn it all in one day. If Clint Eastman invited you and you signed up for the CSA5steps.com, which everybody on here should already be in. Clint should be looking at his stats and see 70 people signed up today, 65 people signed up today, or at least 40, because most of y'all were already in. Should have already been in. But if this is your first, and like you've never been to CSA 5 Steps, and then you came to see me, your spirit led you here, brother. I want you to start trusting your spirit versus having to do left brain and be very logical and understand everything at the very first time that you get to it. I want you to say, I made it home. I don't know all of my cousins in here, but if I stay here, then I will be lifted because you're hanging around the right people. Like if I go hang around 9 rich people, I won't be rich the same day. I just met them. I would introduce myself and be like, hi, I'm Kair. What's your name? So does that make sense?
Perfectly. Yeah. Thank you.
Now the second thing is on the CSA 5, you need a notebook and you need to watch the first video, which is 2 hours long. Watch it twice. So that's how I love how this class works.
Yeah, I mean, I'm part of CSA 5 step for like 1.5 years, 2 years. So.
So are you a tier 1 or tier 2?
tier 2, tier 3.
So you're here for the spiritual component of the money.
Yep.
So do you have an altar in your house?
I don't have an altar. I have a vision board with all of the picture and stuff that I want to have and my goals. I'm getting a lot of good idea today. So
Do you know who this is?
that's a Buddha.
No,
No, I don't know.
this is Ganesha. This is the god of removing obstacles. He's a very good place to start. Have you ever burned candles before?
No.
Do you know what a hanging man looks like on the chart?
Yes, I do.
And those are indicated by candles, right?
Yep.
So today you're learning another candle magic. If you can read candles on Forex and options and cryptocurrency, that's one half of the magic. The other half of the magic is lighting candles. Jasmine is holding this candle up, just smiling all big at you. Like, here's a candle. Oh, a road opener. If you're saying I'm stuck or I'm lost or I'm blocked, you could go and just get a road opener candle and start trusting the magic. Start trusting the magic. And then when you see things happen for you, don't deny it. Don't say, oh, that was going to happen anyway. No, this entire universe is set up on magic. The Jade Emperor, as I held up earlier, he governs the stock market. He governs the stock market, not the Illuminati. He governs all money. So it's now time for you to open up because your spirit led you here. Clint Eastman really didn't. He might have said something about it, but it was you who made the decision. He's got 3,000 friends. They're all not here. Where are all his 3,000 friends at? Why did you come? Oh, because Clint. No, brother, it was in your heart. Remember, the conscious mind, the unconscious mind is an ocean. The conscious mind is like Great Lakes, but the subconscious mind and the conscious mind is a spoonful of water. And we often give the spoonful of water too much credit, and we don't dig deeper. Jasmine, what you want to say about this candle for the brother? Oh, you're muted. You're muted. Pause. Take yourself off mute.
So let me first very quickly just break down how a candle will work, because for beginners, they're like, well, how does lighting a candle going to help my situation? One, when you're working with the candle, this is
Hold on, Jasmine. Be specific with him. He's a trader. He's been trading with Clint Eastman for a year and a half. He's already making money. He wants to make more money. How will a candle help him as a trader make even more money as an investor and a trader in the stock market?
So the candle work is a way to channel the universal energy of prosperity. Lighting a candle, specifically a road opener, is going to clear away any blockages that may have you stuck where you are and bring about more opportunities so that you can gain more success. If you look at this candle, the symbols that are on here, and symbols vibrate and radiate at a certain frequency, a certain energetic vibration. You've got the money symbol here. You've got open, clear road. You have a stack of money. This candle with these different colors are designed to help clear open the path. A road opener is like putting keys in your hand to several locked doors of opportunities. And behind those doors are the things that you want to see or the places you want to drive your business to, okay? Working with a road opener candle, preparing it with the appropriate herbs and oils. You're in trading, you're in finance, adding some cinnamon to this, adding some allspice to this, adding some grapeseed oil, which symbolizes abundance. If you think about grapes or olive oil, they grow abundantly, and you want your business to grow abundantly. So what you're doing is you're utilizing tools that match the vibrational frequency to what it is that you're asking for. I tell people, think of a candle ritual as ordering something from Amazon. The universe is Amazon, or you're mailing a letter. The candle is your envelope that sends your petition, okay? Your petition is I want to triple my amount that I am bringing in from my trading in the next 30 days. Your candle is the tool that you put that petition in. The flame, when you light your candle, you're working with the element of fire. Fire ignites things very quickly. Think of fire as the stamp that goes on the envelope. It's going to get your envelope with your petition to where you want it to go. Okay? The universe is the processing station. It's like it's the post office. It sends your request to Amazon. Amazon processes it and then shoots you back your package. Those are your results. So candle magic is a highly effective, fast-acting physical tool that channels the universal energy to manifest what you want back here in the physical realm.
Oh my God.
Perfect. And how to use it? Like every morning? How do you do it?
Absolutely. So what you do is once you prepare your candle, you light your candle and you speak your intentions over your candle every single day. So this is called a novena or a 7-day candle. And this typically burns for about 4 to 7 days. You light your candle, you can place it down inside of a little container of water, and you let it burn. You don't blow it out until it finishes. And each day, so for example, with your trading, I would print out a screenshot of your account or your accounts that you're trading on. And I would take that screenshot and place it under the candle, because that screenshot it's vibrating energy. It's vibrating.
The order.
Yes.
And it's the order that he's sending to Amazon. That's what I want.
It's the order. And you allow this to burn down. You take 5 minutes every day. If there's a specific prayer that you are comfortable with or you're used to, or you just speak your intentions. You take that piece of paper with your account and your trading numbers on there, and you get yourself a big gold or green or blue marker or red marker, something bright, and you write the amount of money you want to see your account quadruple or whatever it is that you want. You want to double it, quadruple it. You write that on there and you allow the candle. This is the beauty of candle magic. It takes the heavy lifting off of you sitting there stressing your brain about, oh, how am I going to make this happen? And it starts to rain the opportunities and the abundance on you.
Brother, can I ask you a question? How would you feel if you were doing 1,500 pips per day? How would you feel?
Phenomenal. Fantastic. One more.
Right. And how does it feel to do 500 pips a day?
Good.
Okay,
it just depends on the amount of the capital that I'm using.
Right, but if you are comfortable with 1,000 pips per day and the system is working, I would say get a candle and put 1,500 pips per day under that candle, and then keep doing what you're normally doing, and just watch what happens, and don't deny it. 1,500 pips, and just let me know. I want to know personally. I know you're gonna tell Clint because I'm in tier 1, so I'm not in tier 2 or 3. But light your candle, keep doing the same thing, and you start saying, "Wow, wait a minute. Today I did 1,100 pips. Today I did another 1,100. Oh, I did 750." But you'll never be at 500 again, ever. And then all of a sudden, boom, 1,500, 1,500, 2,000, 1,800, 1,800. It might take more than one candle. Burn the candle until you get the results you want. That's for everybody on here. So this is a great example because this brother should be y'all's new friend. And all of y'all should be his new friend because y'all know magic and candles, but you don't know nothing about what a pip is. Y'all don't know what a pip, some of y'all know what pips are, but you don't know what a pip is. And he was like, I would feel phenomenal. He would feel, trust me, he would feel phenomenal at 1,500. Trust me, I know. That's why I said 15. He was like, damn. If I'd have said, well, how do you feel about 5,000 pips? He probably would have fainted. I don't want him to faint because then he won't come back. So 5,000 pips a day, brother, how would you feel?
Well, if I have a penny in my account, and if I have $1 million in my account, I feel much different. It's just matter of the capital, brother.
Exactly. But he's going to take that win. So start with a clear candle. You can have a candle for clear thoughts. Let's say there's a pair that you've been trading that you have confusion around. I would put a white candle and put it on top of that pair. I would have a green candle for how many pips I want. And then a pair that you are very comfortable with, I would put maybe a pink candle for sweetening it. You want it to be sweet. You want it to come so easy to you. You want it to come easy. You don't want to work hard for 1,500 pips. Tell the truth. You do not want to work hard. You don't. That's what we're trading for. We're not trying to work hard. So if it just falls into your lap, then you just ride it. You just ride it. So that was an excellent question. Thank you. That was good right there.
Awesome. It's a good starting point. I'm gonna bug you guys a lot. Don't worry.
Oh, please. Because then we'll come back and ask you about, oh, what's a hanging man? Or how do I know it's an uptrend? Or what indicator do I know? Should I sell? Should I buy? So you're gonna have a lot of friends here. Trust me, there's a lot of people here that know a lot more than you do. But what you're doing is creating a corporation. You're creating a syndicate. You're creating, and I think that might be why Clint told you to come or put it out there. I don't know. I was very surprised that he came, and we're gonna let him tell why he even came to a class like this anyway. So thank you, my brother. I appreciate you.
Yes, and let's make sure, Khayr, that we get his information for both the group to add him. I don't know if you're on Facebook or social media, but at least an email so we can keep in contact with you.
Oh, I have all this. I have his email, and then we're going to add him to the group as well.
Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, absolutely, my brother. All right. What is the CSA program? We're going to have somebody come on here and tell you about that in just a second. I'm going to answer these last two questions. I'm going to let Jasmine. Man, I want to bring Clint in because I don't know how much time he got.
Yeah, come on, let's get it started. I'm ready for this party.
Come on, Clint. Whenever you want to take yourself off of mute, because I got some questions for you, brother. Wait a minute.
Let's see if we got a volume on this.
You got some volume on it, brother.
How's everybody doing this evening?
We're doing good, Brandon.
Or as I say when I start my sessions, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where it is you're logging in from. I have students in all 24 time zones, 120 different countries. I've been doing what I do for 36 years. I learned from some of the best, and I have the best financial education that your tax dollars can afford. Thank you for those of you that paid your taxes. So they sent me here, there, and yonder. I was the government money man for over 22 years. I retired from that. I came out from underground in the hole they'd stuck me in. And my job was to fund projects they couldn't tell you about. And so that's what I used to do. Now I'm the people's money man. I switched gears. My job is now redistributing. Think of me as a modern day Robin Hood. I extract money from the markets at will and put it back out into the different things that need funding. And TradingView is one of the things that we do talk about. And that CSA 5 steps, you do have to put a www or it may not recognize it, but that is me right there, CSA 5 step system. It is trademarked Clint Eastman. That is me. You'll find me on social media as DC Eastman. For 22 years, I was the DC Project. And so that was all I was known as they put me where they put me, and I did the things that I did. Now, I've been a student of the markets, and I've been a student of nature, cosmos, astrology, astronomy, but I never got deep into that side because they didn't give me time. I became a very linear thinking, very logical thinking, very earthly in the way that I studied the math. But if you're going to study the math, you learn a few things about trading. And what you learn is Fibonacci was a 13th century mathematician. And he saw things in nature. He observed certain things. Actually, what he observed, and I'm going to ruin the CSA 5-step program for you, that's 8 hours of who I am what the system is, and it's free. 100% free at this level. That's tier 1. If you choose after tier 1 that you want to join me, it's $50 a month. I tried to make it reasonable for anybody anywhere in the world to be able to come in and take the program. So there are several students in here. Anybody that's got numbers in front of their name, you know that they're one of my students, because that's one of the tier levels they came through on. And so I invited people to come over, and I started listening to some of the conversation. I understand I've had the opportunity to sit down with Michael Beckwith of The Secret and visit with him and things about understanding our place within the universe. Understanding we were put here at a specific time and place, and that we are part of that is around us, okay? And so I don't allow negativity into my trading room. And sometimes that's me. Sometimes I have to go for a walk, because if I sit down and there's negative, it's not time to trade. I need to go take care of something else. If I have somebody walk into my trading room that is negative, they're immediately dismissed. You're not allowed to bring negativity into my trading room, because when I am here, I am one with the charts and moon phases. And I understand the inner planets. I'm not that familiar with the outer planets. I never got that far in my study. So I understood that men are from Mars and women are from Venus. So Mars, Venus, Mercury, Sun, and Moon. I never got outside of that inner circle, but that was enough to understand some angles and things that Gann gave us. Gann uses something, and I found it very interesting, because I went shopping with my wife. We went to the store. And she's a quilter. She didn't know this until she turned 55, and then we all of a sudden decided she's a quilter. And we went and we bought this ruler. And this ruler, she holds it up and she says, wow, it's got all these angles on here. Isn't this cool? I said, that's the Gann square. And she said, I don't know what a Gann square is, but this is a quilter's ruler. No, that's a Gann square. And so I understand the math. I understand how the Gann square and the 360-degree rotation and things are used within that square. So you'll see Gann box, Gann square fixed, and Gann fan. Those are the things that are like W.D. Gann that I put in there, and Coach took some time to show us the 2 books that went along with Gann and his study. Now, some things we know about Gann is Gann was born at a time, there he is right there, William Delbert Gann, and W.D. Gann, he put together some things for us. He was at the turn of the century. He was contemporary to Charles Dow. He's contemporary to Richard Wyckoff. Those names may not mean as much to you, but they do if you're following the markets, right? And he said, here's one thing I know about the world around me. Math is a consistent. Angles are a consistent. And if we look to the stars, we can read certain things about patterns. I teach candle patterns. Now, the fact that I stepped into this area is I got out of the arrogance of Western civilization and thinking that we knew it all here. And I went and studied in Japan for 2 years. That's one of the things they required me to do. So I stepped into a financial dojo and I started learning financial astrology. Interesting. And they said, here's the 2 things that we want you to know. There is a story told in every candlestick. You put 3 of them together, it creates a pattern, and that pattern tells a story. Then if you take the 3 of those 3 candle patterns, you get what is known as market structure. And if you can learn those 3 steps, candles, candle pattern made up of 3 candles, and 3 candle patterns, 9, and you have market structure. If you can learn that, you can learn how to trade the market. I teach it in a very simplified, color-coded method. Now, I agree with Coach. How much should you start your account with? Not 10 grand, right? Don't go buy 10 grand worth of cryptocurrency, right? That was a mistake ready to happen, right? And don't go and fund yourself a Forex account. Like you said, you might as well go ahead and send 500 to Jasmine and 500 to Coach, because you're going to give it to the market. Everybody that trades the market pays the market tuition. Now, are you going to pay yours to the market, or are you going to pay it to a coach that's been there and done the things that you're trying to do? My two mentors were two individuals. One was named George Soros, and his individual was Jim Rogers. Now, that may not mean anything to you, but he was one of the youngest individuals to be the VP of Citibank. There's George Soros. Regardless of what you think of him politically or as an individual, that makes no difference to me. Yeah, he's a man. I'm no respecter of men, right? But he is a financial genius. He broke the Bank of England. In one day, he extracted $1 billion from the market in 24 hours. This is my coach. He then sought an individual named Jim Rogers, and Jim Rogers and George are co-founders of the Quantum Fund, the largest hedge fund in the world. So these individuals, when it comes to finances, when I'm going to hang out with somebody, I heard somebody talk about Elon Musk earlier. I think it may have been Jasmine. And so Elon Musk and I did a business partnership together when I started mining cryptocurrency. Now get this, I started mining cryptocurrency back in 1998. Uh-oh, how's that possible? Satoshi Nakamoto didn't even release the white paper until 2007. So how did government knows something maybe we don't? Take a look behind the curtain. So I was part of a documentary known as The Secret of Oz. We remember watching The Wizard of Oz as a child, but I learned The Secret of Oz as a financial allegory. That means there's a story hidden within that story. Think of the word Oz. Just let's start right there. The word Oz. Where else do we see that in the world? Oz, O-Z. That is the abbreviation for an ounce of precious metal. Something we could put on our altar, right? Something that we can put up there on that financial. An ounce of gold, right? Silver, physical metal, all right? The yellow brick road. What is a yellow brick in the financial world? Gold. It's a 101 ounce brick of gold. If you had 101 ounces of gold, you've got a chunk of change, right? And in the original story, there was actually silver slippers, not ruby slippers. That's how Hollywood got a hold of it. But silver slippers. Be careful, because silver is going to go in the way of gold. That's what they were trying to tell us. Now, we talked a little bit about the Jade Emperor. Do you remember where they were going in The Wizard of Oz? Wasn't that going to the Emerald City, right? Oh, telling us something, right? We're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. They took a peek behind the curtain, and it's a bunch of men pulling the levers, right? Pushing the buttons. Don't look behind the curtain, right? He didn't want looking back there. Now, there's actually one little connection between me and the movie, and that is the Cowardly Lion was my great-great-uncle, William Jennings Bryan. He ran for president back in 1896 and was personal friends with Charles Dow. And so you can learn the rest of the story of me, who I am, and how that works together. But here's the one thing that I want to impress upon you is, if you want to know more about me, if you want to know more about the trading, if you want to understand more about that, exactly the straw man, the tax identification number, we've already got some people popping into the chat room that understand some of the symbols and the significance of those symbols. And so Cowardly Lion, William Jennings Bryan, would have continued running for president, but they threatened his family. Drop out from the financial race, drop out from the presidential race, or your family will suffer. So he dropped his campaign to save his family. And the market went a different way. The market, those behind the scenes, put who they wanted in the presidency at the time. And that changed the course of the next century. And that changed the course of where we're at today. So how does this play out in the markets? One of the things you'll find is Gann, brilliant mathematician, a 33rd degree Freemason. He studied many different things. He studied along with them the fact that there is a story to be told within the heavens. There is a story to be known that we can learn patterns. That's the Gann square off on the right-hand side of the page there. And every angle can be figured. You take a 360-degree circle, put it around the outside of that, just like it was setting inside of the equator. And then you figure your angles, your nines or your odd square roots and your even square roots going off the other direction. It's figured much the same as you would figure your zodiac signs and your 12 different houses and all the planets. And when they do certain things, when they come into different alignments, there's different vibrations that are sent. And he studied that, and he knew and could time things out months, weeks, years, decades, centuries out into the future. He was almost like Nostradamus in the area of the financial markets, using the same stars and the writing on the wall to tell us what was going to happen and what was going to happen next. So what I teach in my class, and now this is, understand, some of the people that came over here to hear me speak, this is what I call tier 3 level understanding. You don't start here. This is not where you start. You start with tier 1.
That's right.
Then you go to tier 2. Tier 2 is intermediate. I've got individuals, my best tier 2 students, they trade 5 minutes a month. And I'll tell you what happens within the planets. We've never shared this within my group, but there's a certain 5 minutes of the month that this is very important. So 5 minutes per month, 12 months a year, 5 times 12, 60 minutes. They work 60 minutes, and every one of them makes more than $500,000 a year for working 60 minutes. If you had the rest of your month back and only worked 5 minutes, what would that do for your life?
Talk that talk.
Go shit on it, right?
Talk
if you were
that
making 5,000 pips, right? If you were talking that 5,000 pips, you're talking a different ball game now, right? So my individuals, they learn how to do what we call 10 by 10s, 5 by 5s, and 21 grid trade. There's a magic within 21 and 7. 7, right? 1 divided by 7, you get a mathematical equation that's very important within the sequence. And so if you take that 1 divided by 7, you're going to get a series of numbers. That's a series of numbers that's going to become important to you in the process of trading. We'll work through that in a bit. But if you go read Gann's book, he talks about the smallest of cycles. Here's the, I don't know if this comes up in astrology. You guys will have to tell me because this is your area of expertise, not mine. But the smallest cycle that Gann speaks about is every 4 minutes. The reason every 4 minutes is the Earth in its rotation moves 1 degree every 4 minutes.
Every 4
That's
minutes,
the
baby.
smallest cycle that Gann speaks of. Now, I don't know the significance of that. I do know the significance of 1 degree, and a change of 1 degree within that 360 makes a difference, right? Then he talks about the daily and the yearly in our rotation, right? Because we're working off of the lunar cycle, right? And we're working off of the calendar year. And so we end up understanding the sun, the moon, the rotation of the planets, and every 4 minutes. And that comes up in our trading. and the magic of 7. 7 is the multiplier for what I do for a 21 grid trade. I'll get on to that, and we'll do all of that inside of the class. Now, I could go on and on, but I want to take a breath and see if there's any questions or interaction between Coach and myself if we need to touch on anything that we've already covered.
Clint, I got my first question is, how did you get my password? I know you used to work with the government, but how did you get my password to get inside of my course over here and start breaking these numbers down? How did you get over here, Clint? I just want to know, when did you break into my course and take lesson 5? That's just tell the truth. This between me and you, brother. That's okay.
Yeah, I could have if I wanted to, but I'm seeing some familiar numbers there.
Right.
And my coach told me when I was supposed to put it on my vision board, does anybody know the significance of $315,600?
No. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna look in the chat. Let me look in the chat real quick because somebody may have it in here. Does anybody know what the significance is?
$315,600.
316? That's pi.
That would
right?
be close to pi. That'd be close to pi, but not quite. That's close. That would be 314 and carried out several decimal points.
No, I don't know this one, Clint.
All right, so take your multiplier. Take your multiplier. If you've got 60 seconds to a minute, 60 minutes to an hour, 24 hours to the day, 365 days a year. That is 31,536,000 seconds. Call me Rain Man for just a minute. But that is what it is. If you've made a penny every second, learned how to make money while you were asleep, 24/7, you would make $315,600. I was doing that at 16 years old because that's what was on my vision board, to make a penny every second of the day. Now I make 31 cents every second of the day, regardless if I'm asleep or if I'm not. And here's the neat thing about it. Should I meet my maker today, I would still be making 31 seconds or 31 cents per second into perpetuity because I've got automated trading systems that know how to trade like I do based on the GAN system. Now, what brought me into here? I don't know. I don't even try to figure these things out. But when paths align, when things come into alignment, why I'm here in the middle of Mercury retrograde, I have no idea. No, I didn't even know there was such a thing. I had been told at one point that Mercury rotates around, is it 3 or 4 times as quickly as the Earth?
Mercury is going to, I think it's 3 times.
I think it's something between 3 and 4. It's just under 4, if I remember from my studies before. So I see a few people that are cranking some numbers in their head. They got the calculators out, and they're saying, wow, if I could start cranking a penny out a day, well, maybe not a penny a day, but how about a penny a second? How about if I could start cranking? So we're thinking bigger numbers now. So when I think of $50,000 for Christmas, I understand. I want you to do one set of math problems with me, and we'll go back to lesson 5 with Coach. But here's a math problem for you, okay? How many days are there in a year?
It's 365 days.
All right, so guys are going to follow along with those. There's 365 days in a year. How many weeks are there in a year?
52.
52. So let's take 52 Saturdays, 52 Sundays. I've got to take 104, subtract 365, take 104 off of that. 365 minus 104.
261.
And there's 11 banking days in a year.
Minus
Subtract 11 banking days.
250.
250. We've got some simple math here. Okay, there's 250. I have a trading technique that allows me to make $250 every pip. Every pip. Pip. One pip. $250. Okay? So now we're not going to be cranking out 5,000 pips. I already cramped the coach's brain here. He's like, hang on, that's more than a mini. That may be even more than a lot, but we'll get to that part later. So I make 160 pips per day. That's my goal. Okay, 160 pips per day. So what is 160 pips per day at $250 per pip?
40 stacks.
That's 40 stacks right there. Now take that times 250 trading days. That's why I'm known as an 8-figure trader.
That's
That's
$10
$10
million.
million.
That's M's. Those are M's, ladies and gentlemen.
Now I've been doing that for 35 years.
Damn.
Because at one point, my mentor put something upon my mind, and he didn't ask the, you can't do that. He didn't ask the what if. He said, you will. You will learn to make a penny every time your heart beats.
So wait. So now here's my question. So what you're telling me is I'm not too hard on people? Because people call me an asshole when I tell them you will do something. So what are you saying, Clint? I'm not an asshole?
I'm saying you're not an asshole. You speak it into existence. Now, let me tell you something, because we got to give everybody a starting point. Listen to this. This is your starting point. Because your mind is not ready to receive $40,000 a day. Your mind's not. It's absolutely there. There's an abundant resource, right? But your mind's not there yet. Imagine this, $100. Do you think I could show you how to take $100 and make 1%?
Yeah.
$1. You think I can show you how to make $1 on your $100 list?
Yeah.
That's not going to get us excited, and that's not going to win our job by the end of the year, is it? But
No.
if you take 1% per day on that $100 bill, 3 years, that $100 bill compounded 1% per day will be $1 million in your account. There isn't any reason that everybody in this class hearing my voice and listening to Coach is not going to have $1 million in their account in something less than 3 years. Okay? Now here's how we're going to do it, because it's an expansion of the mind. There's so many ways to make money out there. So many ways. Speak it into existence, right? So the mind is ready to receive 1% on $100 because it's less than what you're used to making. You can screw it up and you can still put $1 in your account, right? You wouldn't have to tell anybody that you screwed up, right?
Right.
So be true to yourself, because when you're making $10,000 a day, $10,000. Now, I'm not used to making $10,000 a day, if that's your case, right? If you're not used to it, but that's the same 1% on a $1 million account. You have to become a mental giant first. As your mind expands, your bank account expands.
Pause.
As you speak it into existence, pause.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's talking astrology. So I'm going to interpret for you, because he says he's claiming he doesn't know it. He said your mind, which is Mercury, which is ruled by Thoth. So when you say, where do I start with my altar? So here's an 8-figure trader that says your mind. He's used the word mind. So every time you can take the word mind and replace it with Thoth or Tahuti. When Osiris got killed by his brother, and then his son Horus or Heru went to seek vengeance on his uncle, he lost his eye, got plucked out in battle because he was emotional. And then he had to go see Thoth for wisdom. He had to go see Thoth, who is also Lord Ganesha, for wisdom. So that's why I love Proverbs 3:5. What do I keep telling y'all? Lean not on your own understanding. So in retrograde, you had to slow down, because some of y'all was like, oh, I need it by November. Oh, I need it. Clint, you saw the comments. I gotta have it by this time. I gotta have it by this time. I gotta have it by this time. But the indicators, the planets were like, slow down a little bit. Clint has been married for a little while. Clint, if your wife says I have a headache, do you keep talking to her?
Yeah, it doesn't go well.
Oh, it doesn't go well. But he now knows the indicator. She says, I got a headache. Clint says, well, I'm gonna go be quiet for a second until she calls me. When she calls me, then I'll go back to what I wanted to get into. But when you have an indicator, which is the planet Mercury, that says, slow down for a second. And look at those who came in here tonight. When you slow down for a second to do what? Get your mind right, to learn formulas. I was given formulas. Jasmine was given formulas. And now here comes another alchemist saying, hey, I got a formula. Coach, can I play too? Hell yeah, you can play. This is what we do. We're mixing up the pot. He's still confused about how he got here. I'm confused. I'm sort of not confused, Clint, because we did a ritual last week, which was a pumpkin ritual. And Jasmine told us to use a road opener, and I didn't have a road opener. I had a candle called the Saint Expedite, which speeds things up. I've never used it before, ever. I did everything she told me with the pumpkin ritual, what she's gonna give out. The candle burned down. I took maybe like 3 or 4 days before I buried the pumpkin. I had to go outside and bury the pumpkin. I also have a money tree that I planted 2 years ago with another ritual. So I planted my pumpkin probably about 6 to 8 feet away from the money tree. And the ground was really hard. It wasn't trying, it was roots I had to chop up and everything. And I put it in there 2 nights ago. I can send you the picture I sent Jasmine of the ground before I started digging. And now one day later, you're saying, where's the link at? I'm trying to come to class. I don't have Clint Eastman's phone number. I'm not even his best student. I can show you how far I am in the course. I don't get on the Zoom calls. But how many of y'all have heard me talk about CSA 5-step? Because I want y'all to be better than me. Don't be keep getting distracted. I'm putting it on your ass to get out there and get it when I can't, because y'all have children. And so now Clint will know I don't like adults. I only teach adults because they have children. If you got me, make me choose between Clint and his grandchildren, Clint was gonna lose every time. Jasmine's the same way. Everybody knows that about me. Who does Coach love? Coaching it for the kids. Now I'll get the money later, but what do the kids have? I heard a story that Clint taught all his children, and then when they had his grandchildren, they had to learn the same system. And now Clint ain't blind. He sees more black people on here. I'm sick and tired of people that look like me, don't got shit. So that's why we have these private classes, so we can do something about it, and then have a teacher can come in and he's sharing colorblind wisdom. Oh, I'm sorry, it's green wisdom. That's what we're looking at. He's sharing green wisdom. So I told y'all before class started, everybody got the email. Your ass already should have had an account at CSA 5-step. I text Sincere and said, Sincere, you signed up yet? He was like, no, not yet. He signs up and says, oh, they already got my email. That means he signed up for the course and he ain't taking it. So guess what? Now he getting foot up his ass, because now I'm not an asshole no more. I'm not an asshole. You got time to roll blunts and drink coffee, and you got time to be on this damn trading for 5-10 minutes a day. You got time to light a candle? Otherwise, you can get the what? Fuck from around me. Oh. Because we're all joining tonight. We're all joining the new league that Clint is also. He's a card-carrying member of the NFAL, just like Jasmine. That's called the No Fucking Around League, okay? If you don't want to be in the No Fucking Around League, all you need to do is just hit leave meeting right now, and we can just go on, and we're not gonna waste nobody else's time, okay? I still see the number at 55, so I guess everybody's agreeing that you put in your application for the No Fucking Around League. Some of your friends didn't want to come tonight. Fuck them, okay? Because they'll sit right there and watch you put $1,000 in your account and blow it, and then they'll look at you and say, you ain't rich yet? Nah, because I ain't got no system. We Proverbs 3:5 in here. I'm not gonna lean on my own understanding, and I know I fail as an individual. So, Clint, I'm gonna hand it back over to you. Sometimes I get on little my degree is in history, and I rant sometimes, and I get up on my soapbox, but then I have to get back down because we have guests, and I apologize for my profanity, everyone. But yes, let's just go ahead and give it back. Clint said I'm gonna give it back to you. He said wisdom. He had to have the wisdom. He had to use the mind. His mind had to get right to be able to understand $40,000 a day. Clint said he won't operate right with $10,000 a day. Sincere, did you hear
That's
me?
taking steps backwards. We don't take steps backwards.
That's
When there's so much there to go forward. We're talking about Mercury retrograde. It goes backwards for just a brief time so it can come right back in front of you, right? So when money passes in front of you, why do you keep waving it off? Why don't you pick it up each time it passes in front of you?
Oh my God. That's I'm gonna interpret that for you. We don't care if the markets are going up or down. If you wave it in front of Clint, that means obviously Clint wants it. If you wave it in front of Clint, obviously you must want me to come over here and talk to me. Clint is a member of the Unashamed Opportunist Club. Oh, hey, here's money walking by. Hey, Clint, nah, come over here with me. Because if you read Dollars Want Me, which I tell everybody is a prerequisite, all the financial books written before 1940 is where it's at. Dollars want me. You don't want money. Never say you want money. Never. The dollars want a master. Dollars are servants. Richest man in Babylon. I'm supposed to have gold, having silver children, having little shearling grandchildren. My gold supposed to be producing more gold and my silver supposed to be producing more silver. Clint, is that about right? Isn't that how I build my account? I go from a paper account to an account with $10 in it to $100 to $1,000, and now I'm creating money out of thin air using the same system. Am I close, Clint? Please help me.
You are very close because they print it. Why don't we print it?
What did he just say? He just said if they print it, why don't we?
Yeah. So go out there and Google Eastman National Bank in Oklahoma. That's my bank. I became my own bank. So Eastman National Bank or Eastman National Bankshire, I actually own the shares that own the bank. And so you'll find one, the original one is in Ponca, Newkirk. Newkirk was the original one, Ponca, and now Tulsa, Oklahoma. The original land deals that were created, so there's my location A, B. I live right up north on 77 Highway in a little town called Winfield, Kansas. If you go about 25 miles north right there, and that's my bank. So my bank down there, we started learning things about, we ain't in Kansas no more, we in Oklahoma. Interesting. So we started doing things with we were the first bank west of the Mississippi. And so when money came from New York and then it went to Chicago and then it became the Oklahoma Land Run and we started doing things within that bank. So here's one thing we learned about bank. You want to get a banker excited? Sign things without recourse. Without recourse. We'll get into that at another time. Sign things without prejudice. There shouldn't be any prejudice-ness in our world, right? The market is colorblind. The market's colorblind. It don't make no difference how old you are, how young you are, what color your skin is. It don't make any difference what socioeconomic background you came from. It doesn't care. The market doesn't care. Now, here's what they do care, is your money's green. And they want to take it from your pocket and put it in their pocket. I've been on that side of the desk. And when you go somewhere and you sign that dotted line, do you think that contract was written to be best for you or the bank? When you go and sign that contract to buy that car, do you think that contract is written for you or the dealership? They are not looking out for you. The only one that's going to look out for you is you. You need to become aware of who you are within this universe. You need to be aware of setting events in your life. There are certain times, and here's one of the things they taught us before we went out into the field, is just because we can doesn't mean we should. Right now may not be the best time to take a step forward. It might be the best time to take 2 steps back. You need to know where you are and when it's time to take a step forward and when it's time to take 2 steps back. Now, I'm just speaking what I was told. I haven't been in on the classes. This is my first class. But I do know some things in my lane. I know the lane that I've been in for 36 years. And I can tell you a few things about that lane. Now, I think if we did some coaches on some other areas, life coaching is more of a favorite subject to me than money. Because if you get your life right, you get your mind right, the money is going to flow. You don't have to worry about that other stuff's going to fall into place. That's just the way the universe is. Speak it into existence, right? Put the good vibrations out, bring them back.
Clint, I want to ask you a question. Are there any traders on Wall Street that are using astrology from your knowledge?
I'll tell you a quote directly from J.P. Morgan. J.P. Morgan says millionaires do not use astrology. Billionaires do. And if you looked at the place that he traded, there was an imprint. It was like going into the Sistine Chapel. It had the zodiac symbol in the crown of the place that he lived. A vaulted ceiling that had the zodiac right up there. And later in life, J.P. Morgan understood financial astrology, and those that understand this, we talk about 90 to 95% of new traders lose money inside of the Forex market. Billionaires use astrology. Billionaires are 1 to 5% of the population. Billionaires use astrology. It's math. They love math. They love patterns. They love knowing when to go forward with business and when to take 2 steps back. I'll tell you just a quick story about J.P. Morgan, and I'll kick it back to you one more time. J.P. Morgan owned the company that built the Titanic. He was to be the one sitting at the captain's table. Now, if we saw the Hollywood version of Titanic with Leonardo DiCaprio, and you remember the version, right? And there was a gentleman as the Titanic is going down with a top hat that says, "Bring me a brandy. If I'm going down in style." That was one of the wealthiest men in the world and was going to vote against the passing of the Federal Reserve. The Titanic sunk in 1911. The Federal Reserve was put in place in 1913, and the 2 people that had the power to vote it down were guests of J.P. Morgan, and J.P. Morgan, at the last minute, decided not to get on his own boat. So we have something in my studies, and that is there is an art to trading, there is a science to trading, and there is a third subject, things that make you go, So if I say something that makes you go, later in class, we hope to change every one of those things that make you go, to aha moments.
I wanna get in. I'm just like, like this is class 2. It's all in video. And one of the things about Clint, I kept wanting to find out his birthday, because when a teacher resonates with me, I'm like, why is he resonating with me so hard? And he teaches slow like me. He's not in a rush. He's more concerned with you getting it. He could overwhelm you if he wanted to, but then he knows that he'll be back to being an asshole, a know-it-all. He's trying to make other people successful. That's how you win. That's how you win. This thing is color-coded. It's got the little charts up here at the like all of, like, I know what this means, but I'm not getting ready to like even go into that. But these videos, man, are so simple. Like, it took me like an hour to get to 27 minutes because I was taking my time. I was like, man, and I've been looking for this stuff since 2010. Everybody was like, because it's all about finding the right teacher and not being overwhelmed. When you first look at this, your brain is like, but wait, I'll never be able to get it. Jasmine, who is that talking? When you look, when your brain looks at that, who is that talking, Jasmine?
That is your limiting character.
And your limiting character, JP Morgan didn't have a limiting character. What's my man name? Napoleon Hill said out of all the 500 millionaires and billionaires that he interviewed, nobody had the mind that Henry Ford, I think he said Henry Ford was number 2 on his list for mindset, and you couldn't tell him what he couldn't do. And his manager, which was also a billionaire, he had the little slim mustache. Napoleon Hill's manager. Oh my God, I have this book. I can't think of his name, but your limiting characters got to die. So
Carnegie.
No, not Carnegie. It was Andrew. It was H. Clement Stone. H. Clement Stone. H. Clement Stone.
W. Clement.
W. Clement
Clement
Stone.
Stone.
W. Clement Stone.
Yeah.
Yes. So those were his 3 guys. I mean, he loved a lot of people, but it was W. Clement Stone, Andrew Carnegie, and Henry Ford. Those were his boys. I mean, he had a lot of boys, but he sat at their feet. So going through this information, y'all, it's easy, and it was right there, because we're supposed to be on here tonight. We're supposed to be on here tonight talking about it. Now, some of you are going to resist. Oh, my goodness gracious. Some of y'all, oh, this is a whole money sheet right here. I could pause it right there. Like, I was trading and giving away money to the market for, I'm not even going to tell my story. We're just going to leave this screen totally, and I'm going to just get off of there. That's what I'm going to do. You'll see for yourself down the road. But some of you are going to resist. I don't want you to resist. I want you to start working on accepting that you are where you're supposed to be, okay? It doesn't matter whether you're just starting. It's not your first class. It's just your first experience of remembering, right? Even though Sincere is breaking rules over there because we don't smoke or drink during or before class, but I forgot to tell him, but it's okay. That's okay, don't worry, enjoy yourself. You've already sipping for the whole people. We forgot to tell you. So like Clint had certain rules, and Clint says no negativity in class, which that's how we do, no negativity in class. But then also we come in with a clear head, and then when you leave, you can go celebrate all you want. But we know that you manufacture wine and you're here to scale your operation. So go ahead and, now it is time for a toast. So I don't have a problem with that, but it's about are you in the right place at the right time, and are you the right person? Are you the right person? So I don't want to hog up all the time asking questions. I'd like for people to raise their hand if they have a question for Clint. We brought him in here, and he's available for us right now. And even though Clint said he's already made some money tonight while he's been on here. So Clint, you said you already made some profit tonight while you've been on this seminar?
That is correct. I went ahead and made my money for the next 24 hours just in case you wanted to keep me in here a little longer.
And your money is, you need 40,000 a day, right?
40,000 a day is my production goal, is what we call that.
And so you met your production goal while you were getting some education today.
And if you remember while I was on your class the other day, what was that amount that I tossed out there?
You did 3,700, and then you did another 40,000. So when we add that up, you get 40,700. Yes.
That's correct. I was a little bit long the other day, so I got to take an extra 30 minutes off for lunch.
I remember that.
Right. So does someone have, Jasmine? I want to know, because my co-host, Jasmine, and Clint, you're our first guest we've ever had so far. I mean, I have plans in the future to bring other guests in, and I have other courses that we're going to teach that this is expanding out of. But I just like to know what does the Queen say about our guests? Jasmine, would you like to comment to and talk to Clint and about how you feel about him coming to class tonight?
Well, first of all, I love you. We'll just start there.
Oh, thanks so much.
And besides being inspiring, you know, what you have shared, the jewels that you have just dropped, I can speak for myself, and I thought I felt myself as a person that I think pretty big, but I can say that you've definitely expanded the consciousness of everyone on this webinar tonight. And as I'm listening to you, I've already signed up for the program. I just ordered my Jade Emperor statue. That's already on its way. And
Yeah.
you have a devotee for life, because I'm trying to be like you when I grow up. So thank you.
Jasmine, so you're telling me you're going to mix magic and mysticism with Clint's practical system? Is that what you were trying?
Absolutely. I'm going to go to bed listening to the video and replay it while I'm sleeping. I literally just reformulated my altar, my vision board, listening to the video. Like, all of this is happening as I'm taking this information in right now. This is a game changer.
Who else wants to come on here and give us some feedback? I'd like to also hear from some of Clint's students who came in, who have, you know, what is your take on what we have shared with you all? Has Dr. Norval Drawn, I see you took yourself off mute. Would you like to have a comment this evening?
Yes, sir. Thank you for allowing me to speak a few words. I live in Los Angeles, and earlier I asked a question. I said that my appearance day was 5:30:40, and I didn't know how to do the Mercury, and you didn't have time or didn't see it earlier. So I wanted to drop that on. Yes, I've been hanging out with Dr. Eastman for over a year now, and I get a chance to hang out with he and Sir Rob as we travel around the country, hanging out, trading. And I'm glad that you are interested in the youth, because Dr. Eastman is also, and starting tomorrow, he's going to be doing a youth program that is national, and it's starting in San Diego. And I just wanted to perhaps find out if Jasmine has classes in Los Angeles, because I'd be interested in perhaps attending live. And that's all I want to say.
Yes, absolutely. So let's make sure you connect either through social media, or I'll get your email from when you signed up for the webinar. I will be resuming my actual in-person one-on-one, not one-on-one, but group workshops in January. I put them on hold a little bit so I could do the online webinars, but absolutely. And I am in Los Angeles, so if you'd ever like to meet, you know, sit down one-on-one, you can schedule an appointment through my website, but let's make sure that we keep in contact.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Whew. Man, somebody in the chat room said they came in feeling a bit down, but leaving with a positive explosion. Thank you all. We appreciate you for not letting your limiting character. Courtney, you took yourself off of mute. Would you like to say something?
Yeah, are you able to hear me?
Absolutely.
I don't know if you remember me, but I took your Astrology 101 class. I was in Paramount at the time.
Say that again. You got some background noise.
Okay. So I was saying that I took your astrology course about a year or almost 2 years ago, Astrology 101, and I had a session with you. And it's interesting because during that time, I was not into Forex. I was just, you know, I had just started my altar and I had just came out of Christianity. So I had manifested a lot of things at that time. And then I happened like really, really fast. And then I wanted to learn astrology. So I took your course and then I was learning this and I had so much stuff going on at the same time. And then I just got overwhelmed. I said, oh, let me just slow down. So now I had got with Clint and I had learned the CSA 5-step system, but I had stopped, you know, my altar, and I had stopped doing a lot of my spiritual work. All that came to a cease, and then everything just all of a sudden has come to a stop. And I was talking with Dr. Norvell today, and he was like, so we're going to have an astrology class. You remember when Clinton had mentioned something about astrology at JP Morgan? I said, oh yeah. I said, yeah, I think I'm gonna come on there and check it out. So I'm glad I came in because it's coming back full circle. Everything that I had initially started and then I ceased. And now this other piece of the puzzle is coming back in, the things that Clinton has been teaching, and then the astrology part, the spirituality part of it. So I'm looking forward to this. Yeah.
Courtney, how long have you been studying the CS5 program?
I was in the tier 1. I was one of the first people that had gotten in and I had started the program. So it's been over a year.
And to the people who are like working their altars right now, doing their rituals, learning candle magic, who don't know anything about trading, what would you tell them? Like, should they be worried? Should it be? Is it going to be difficult? Or like, what words of advice will you give to people who are on the spiritual path, but they're like, this is the first time them seeing this information?
I would say follow your heart. Don't let outside influences come in, try to detour you and knock you off your path. Fear, all these different things that we've been programmed to, that's been programmed in us, will be a stumbling block. And so just follow your heart and be true to it, and implement the things that you're learning. Be patient. Don't try to rush everything, and stay the course. That would be the advice that I would have.
And what about the difficulty, like the learning curve? Did you find it difficult, or like, did you leave it and go away, or did you stay with it the whole time?
In anything that you learn, there's going to be a learning curve. If you learn a new language, if you're learning trigonometry and you're just leaving basic math, there's going to be a learning curve. Just stick it out and be patient. Don't give up. If you're going to say that you're going to do it, see it out until you complete it.
Where do you think you're going to be 3 months from now when you get ready, when you get back on your spiritual game and add your spiritual game to what you've been learning in CSA 5? What you think it's going to look like?
Say that again, because I'm in Starbucks, so it's kind of noisy.
Where do you see yourself 90 days from now if you reactivate your altar and your spiritual practices and your astrology studies with where you're at right now with the CSA 5? Where do you see yourself by January?
Implementing my spiritual game in 90 days from now. My initial goal in this was to be able to make 7 figures, in a year's time. And so I had that same breakdown, man, but I had it down to the second. I had my I had the 8,333, and then I had broke it all the way down to the second. So I knew what my goal was for the second, and I was doing that, and I had my vision board, and I had stopped it. I completely stopped it because I got sidetracked, and so now doing this again, that's what I'm going back to. That's going to be my goal for the year is that. So in 90 days, I would say that'd be a fourth of that. So I would say 300,000. That'd be my goal. Yeah.
Y'all better find Courtney and send him a friend request. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Y'all better find Courtney and send him a friend request. Courtney, I'm gonna be in your ass about getting at it too, because I want you to be on like, Coach, did you study today? Because I'm gonna be on Sincere's ass, I'm gonna be on Malaysia's ass, I'm gonna be on everybody's ass. Jasmine, I don't want to hear shit. I don't want to hear nothing, no excuses, but nothing. Courtney, I appreciate you, brother. I'm gonna put you back on mute and take the next caller, okay? Or the next person. All right. Thank you, brother. G7 Thin Q, who is that? GT, G7 Thin Q? Okay, I thought you had raised your hand. Sincere, your mic is open. I'm trying to, yeah, unmute your mic.
Actually, I gotta say that the Queen Malaysia had typed into the chat that she had next after Vaughn, and Vaughn did raise his hand. So let me be honest and say Vaughn raised his hand, and let me be a gentleman and say I adore her so much. This is my chance to be a gentleman and say, you know, ladies first, but she's after Vaughn. So I'm gonna mute myself and let them go first.
All right, Malaysia, what you got for us today?
Well, am I okay? Hey, y'all. First of all, this is my first class. I've been wanting to take this class forever, and everything lined up perfectly for me to be here. So the gratitude is immense. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've been taking your classes, Coach, for about like 2 years now. Like I've probably exhausted all of the free YouTube videos. I mean, I'm sitting here now looking at the How to Write Your Goals course. And I'm really about doing things in natural order. And so I'm actually learning, like, the moon, like you say, the new moon is for clearing, the full moon is for manifesting, things like that, right? But I actually kind of devised a worksheet, and I would love to send you a picture of it or send you a copy of it. It kind of ties in the how to write your goals with sigil magic. So I'm a nerd, so this is what I do. So we have the internal goals, the external goals, writing it down into like the petition, and then utilizing that to convert it into a sigil. And I've been utilizing this for my goals every month since March, and it's proven, like it works so good. And I just want to keep learning. Like I just wanted to let you know that I've been dying to tell you that. But it works wonders. It gets me on track. It keeps me focused because as an artist, I'm just everywhere and I'm so scatterbrained sometimes. So I need that, like, okay, focus on this, focus on that. So I like practical steps. And I'm really excited for the CSA 5 steps. The color codedness, that sold me. So like I see in color. So I'm grateful to be able to like fuse all of this to work to my advantage. And I don't know, I'm just grateful. I mean, my birthday is December 29th, so I would just like to see myself just better than where I'm at. I'm currently with my grandmother because I had to abort ship with my ex and his parents. So I'm just like, it kind of feels like I'm at ground zero, but I'm not starting as a newbie. Like I'm starting from my previous knowledge and just trying to elevate. So I don't know, I just wanted to just give my gratitude and just kind of share that everything on YouTube works. And, you know, I'm just trying to just stay the course. So thank you.
Yay! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. This is a blessing.
Word, and you a blessing too. G7, can you unmute yourself? I'm lowering your hand. Can you unmute yourself and please come on? I don't know what happened last time. You're unmuted.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, hey, Coach, it's Adrian.
Okay, what's happening?
What's up? Oh, I just wanted to give feedback to you, Jasmine and Mr. Eastman. I just want to say thank you for all this knowledge you all shared tonight. This was a lot. I have one question for Mr. Eastman, but I don't know how to formulate it, but it is dealing with investments. I had some stock that I've been having since like middle school, and I just had it turned over to my name. My aunt gave it to me as a gift. So I just turned it over into my name and I put it in. I have a account with Fidelity and I just put it in there. And I just want to know like how to watch it and things like that.
So any account that is within Fidelity, you should have login credentials as far as watching it.
Well, yeah, I got that.
So as far as what maybe you should do with it, I always suggest that the only one that is as concerned about your money as it should be is yourself. You can't transfer that to somebody else. Hey, keep an eye on my money. I want you to take as good care of it as I would. A lot of times it's our limiting character, I think is the phrase, that we think that we could transfer that responsibility to somebody else. Hey, keep an eye on my money for me. Instead of learning how to keep an eye on your own money, you're going to treat it with way more care than they are. I can tell you that right now. And so what you need to do is you need to get yourself some education. And there is some things that we're doing on the beginner edge of the aspect of what we're learning. And that is we've partnered with another company because we found a lot of people are brokers and broke, right? They're looking to get back to break even, right? That's a goal. And if I could get back to, level ground, then I could launch from that and take off and do some great things. Well, I've always told people, if you find out that you're financially in a hole and you wake up, quit digging. Because digging in a hole, you're just going to end up in a deeper hole. So quit digging and get an education on how to direct that yourself. There are ways to self-direct your own money. And that's what this other company that I have merged with. So I would drop, or have one of my students drop, an email address for contacting me. And that email address is financialhouse.800, the number 800, @gmail.com. financialhouse.800 and just say that you need help getting your financial house in order. That's what we do with individuals that are at the beginner stage. I'm not ready to jump into the candlesticks, I'm not ready to jump into the charts. I'm just ready to get a financial education, because what we've found is there's a lot of financially illiterate people. That's not condescending. That's just a fact. They do not know what they don't know. And so we're going to educate them. I've had the unique opportunity of working with an individual named Robert Kiyosaki and his wife, Kim. That's that cash flow quadrant, if you've ever heard that book, right? And so, say one more time.
Is that the same guy that wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
That's the Rich Dad, Poor Dad guy. Now, I would suggest for all of you, this came directly from Kim Kiyosaki, his wife. And she said, the worst thing you could do, ladies, is to marry a wealthy man. Now, that sounds like odd advice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because if you marry a wealthy man, that's his money. That doesn't mean he's not willing to share it with you, and he should be willing to share it with you. But if you don't know how he acquired wealth, what happens when something happens to him? What happens if he's a male acting like a male that's not thinking right, and he's out there doing stupid stuff, and you have to do like Malaysia said, and abandon shit? You need to know how to handle your own money. You need to know how to handle your own life and self-direct. Get yourself a financial education so you know how to keep an eye on your money. And so that's where we would start, is start with financial literacy. Get us an email, say you need some help getting your financial house back in order, and then we'll work you into the CSA 5 steps for directing your own funds or something along that line. That's all things that can help in any business, any venture, anything that you want to pursue. Learn how to earn it, learn how to grow it, learn how to prosper by you keeping an eye on it and directing it.
And I want to just add on to what Clint said, because that's what we here to build on things. So I say financial literacy. If a monkey can learn sign language, then a human can learn financial literacy. But what's next is, after financial literacy, is financial maturity. Getting your house in order is financial maturity. Financial maturity isn't just a roof over your head. That's financial literacy. Everybody can, like I said, you can teach a monkey how to get a roof over his head. But after that, now you can see the vision. You're saying, wait a minute, after I get my literacy right, which is what? Changing the language, changing the way I talk, changing the way I communicate with other people, changing my circle, which is the third house. The third house of Scorpio is what, everybody? Capricorn. Right. And what and Capricorn is what? Rules, regulations, and restrictions. And the third house is how you communicate. So you should be regulating how you communicating with folks out here up under this Mercury retrograde. You can play all 12 angles. I gave everybody what their Mercury was. But when we're talking about financial maturity, what sign is maturity? Capricorn. Once again. And where's Saturn at right now, Adrian? In Capricorn. Not playing with nobody. Looking for your integrity. Looking to stand on your head. Anybody going through that Saturn return right now, first or second one, you should be here and be like, I'm taking all the notes. I want all the smoke right now. So it's financial literacy, financial integrity, financial maturity. And then everything else is gravy. It's the gravy on top. Clint, I didn't mean to take it off it, but you know, sometimes my apologies. Want to add that in.
Excellent addition. Absolutely. I think that we touched on every angle of the question. If there's anything more, lay it on us, and we'll go from there.
Do I need to, like in the email, do I need to say that I listened to you on Coach's class, or how do they know?
Yeah, give me a clue that you're new to CSA 5, or you heard me on Coach's class here the other night. That gives me a starting point, a reference point, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Oh, and I signed up for on your website as well.
Excellent. Well, we'll look forward to having you in class.
Thank you. Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Jasmine.
Oh, 1,000,000%. Sincere, you up?
All right, now I ain't gonna keep doing this gentleman thing too much, but the brother Von had his hand up
Go ahead,
for about
man.
an hour now.
He's a young one. He's a young one. He's a young one. We'll get to him. He's young.
Okay. No, I was just saying because I literally wanted to come on and say thank you to the individuals who offered to pay for other individuals to show up to class tonight, because every class that Coach Khayr and the Queen Jasmine gives is a blessing. This class just, the first day of Scorpio, dealing with the money, dealing with the energy, it's just so much right now. So for those individuals who reached out, because I was one of the individuals who was able to take part in that tonight. And usually my money on point, you know what I mean? But I've been, what is the term that Jasmine's been pointing out? Your what?
Your limiting character.
Yeah, my limiting character basically like showed up, like fronting, like, look, hey, you see me? And so I'm paying for that. But in the midst of that, I really wanted to make this class. I'm talking about out of all of them, the ones I made, like, yeah. But the ones I didn't make was like, okay, I can get back. But this one I wanted to make, and I wasn't able to. And somebody came through and was like, yo, I got you. And I don't know who it was. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to come in and say I give thanks. Like, literally, I give thanks, and I thank everybody who did come out for blessing themselves. Because I can see right now already, it's some things happening today. It's some links being made. It's some beginnings. This is a monumental time for a lot of individuals. Go ahead and mark this in your journals. You know what I'm saying? Write this down. Y'all about to start adding commas to your bank account. Y'all about to start adding commas to your karmas. You know what I'm saying? You're moving around good people. So I just wanted to give thanks, and I just want and to Coach Carter and the Queen Jasmine. Like, come on, like, where else can you get this type of ish for $26? True, come on, talk to me. Stop me when I'm telling lies. I'm just saying. I'm a spender. I don't care. I just spend. I mean, I done ate some good food for $26, but it wasn't gonna bring me back $40,000 a day. Hey, I'm gonna mute myself. I gotta go take some questions.
We just, the person who sponsored you didn't say, put my name on blast. What he basically, and he don't expect nothing back, or she don't expect nothing back from it. They don't expect nothing back from it. But you know, now you know that you can pay it forward one day with the jewels that you got. You see what I'm saying? If you eat, then make sure that others can eat, you know, sometime in the future. Don't worry, the opportunity to be back around is not expected of you, but that opportunity to, like you said, whoever did it, that's your phrase, right? Adding commas to your karma. That's the new phrase. I want to add whoever did sponsor the scholarships tonight, because it was 5 people who got scholarships tonight. The people who did that, they added commas to their karma. Right.
I just seen a question come across the board. Somebody asked me, what was the name of the wine? The name of the wine is Sincere Mirage. And it's actually not wine that I'm drinking right now. I'm actually drinking mead, which is basically wine made out of honey instead of grapes. And yes, I own this company, Sincere Mirage. So thank you for asking. Thank you for allowing me to plug myself. Yes, add commas to your karmas, and that will add commas to your bank account.
1,000,000%. Vaughn, take yourself off mute. Come on through, young one. He been on here for a second. Where you at?
Man, I almost forgot my questions. Shoot. For Clint, I'm highly invested into gold. Some of the techniques that you've shown today in class, can those be utilized in, you know, cryptocurrency and gold and things like that?
Ken was known for being a gold speculator. He was one of the first that really heavily invested in gold, and he was doing it at a time before it was taken out of the money markets, and there was still currency backed by gold when he was doing it. But now that there is no gold in the system, I speak of, and any one of my students can tell you, I speak of 3 golds, not goals, but golds. And here's the 3 golds that you need to focus on. Physical gold. If you do not hold it in your hand, you do not own it. So a certificate, a piece of paper, something that says somewhere somebody's holding gold for you, no good. There's over 1,000 times more pieces of paper saying you own gold than there's been gold mined. So that's the way the markets work. They leverage paper. All right? So physical gold, poor man's gold, silver. Buy it. It's called junk silver. Old coins, pre-1967. You can buy them and stack them up, and it's a great way to go. When they revalue, it'll be a great thing. So here's the first gold, physical gold. Second gold is liquid gold. What do you think that might be? Liquid gold.
Oil.
Oil, you bet. Oil. So I own oil, and I play oil because it's still what makes the industrialized world go around. And third, gold, digital gold. What is that in today's world? Currency is currency. What's digital currency?
Crypto.
Crypto, baby. That's right. I own my first 1,000 Bitcoins at 23 cents each. I mined them myself, never put them into circulation, parked them, and they still sit there. That's the venture that I did with Elon Musk, because you couldn't have paid the light bill with enough money to pay for the crypto because it was so cheap at the time. So Elon Musk let me do a prototype of his Powerwall, and we put it down in Ecuador. It was the first solar-powered mining rig in the world as a joint venture with Elon Musk. And so that's how money works, is you start rubbing elbows, put 10 billionaires in a room, and it changes the way you think. I had that opportunity when I was 16 years old. I drew my first chart in the dirt for a gentleman named Sam Walton. He funded my first account. You'll hear about that in the story of the CSA 5 steps.
Sam Walton, that sounds like the founder of Walmart. Am I close?
That'd be the guy. I used to play Frisbee with his dog named Old Roy, which is the dog food that they sell at Walmart. I've had an interesting life. I was put here for a time and place and a specific reason. And I think it's to be here sharing with you fine folks. I'm not worried about my past. My past is forgiven. My future is secure. The only thing I have to worry about is right here, right now. And that's the song I play every day that I come into my trading room, is Right Here, Right Now by Jesus Jones. Right here, right now, no place I'd rather be. Right here, right now, watching the world wake up from history. And if you look at the stars, you can write your own path. If you know where you've been, you know where you're at, and you know where you're going, who's going to mess with you?
Now, did you say junk silver? Did I get that correct?
Junk silver is correct. It is a poor man's way of getting into the gold scene. If you've already got gold, you're already a holder of physical gold, I assume. And I do not hold it. Here's one thing that might make you go, it's illegal to hold gold inside of a safety deposit box. I wouldn't suggest keeping it there anyway. Because if there's a run on the bank, if there is a confiscation of gold like back in 1933, be careful where you park your gold, because they want it, and they want it back in their coffer, not yours.
So have you ever heard of a company called Karatbars? And if so, what are your thoughts about that?
Yes, sir. I'm good friends with many people within the Karatbar community, but I keep my gold in the bank underneath the Switzerland Central Bank. That's where my park, it's got its own little pallet there. I go visit it every once in a while.
Oh, offshore accounts. That makes sense. I know about those. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Pallet.
So the reason I live in Puerto Rico.
Make sure residents. I know about that information. I actually learned about that a couple of years ago. So where you're going with that, I actually am quite familiar with that. But hey, I appreciate your kind words and what you've given to this class. Thank you very much.
Clint, my last question for you is, how important is this? How old were your children when you started teaching them?
I did a story problem. Everybody remember those math problems back in grade school, where you had to read through the problem and figure out the numbers and how to put them together, right? A story problem. So here was the story problem. Your mom was going to take you down to the store. You're going to get yourself a package of paper plates. You're going to get yourself a ruler. You're going to get remember those crayon packets where there was 8 colors of crayons in the packet? Yeah, get yourself one of those and get yourself a roll of quarters. Does anybody know how many quarters there are in a roll of quarters? It's a $10 roll. I'll give you a hint.
40.
I make 40 quarters, right? So if I take 40 divided by 8, here's the story problem, right? I have to take the 8 and divide it by, 40 divided by 8 is how many quarters will I have in a stack?
5.
5 times 8 is 40, right? So their job was to take a big plus sign and mark it on that paper plate. Then turn it just 1/2 turn there and put a big X. So if I've got a big plus sign and I'm now in quadrants and I put a big X and I'm now in how many sections of pi? 8.
Yes.
8. Right? So I've got 8. I'm told them to take each of the colors and color one of those sections in 8 different colors, right? And so what I'm describing to you is this currency heat wave that he's showing you right there in the middle of that screen. That's 8 different colors. That's 8 slices of pie. And I taught my kids, homeschooled at 9 years old, how to trade the foreign exchange market. So the way it happened is they put 5 corners in each one of those slices. Now you'll notice some of those slices over here on the right, some of those slices are bigger and some of those slices are smaller. My 5 quarters didn't fit in the pink slice. And whether you know the pink slice is Australian dollar or not, that's not important right now. The one right next to it's purple. Can everybody see that the purple slice is bigger than the pink slice?
Yeah.
So I would sell the Australian, that's the small piece of pie. I would buy the New Zealand, the large piece of pie. So I sell Australian, buy New Zealand, And that's what I just made money on at the earlier part of the class, was the yellow slice was bigger than the purple slice, and I made $40,000 on that transaction.
Paper plates, $10 worth of quarters, 8 crayons. So I really don't want to hear nothing about.
If you can teach a monkey to sign, as Coach said, it's just a foreign language. I make it color coded, and we're starting a youth program next week. If the individual that comes to class can set their fanny in a chair long enough to understand that equation,
what's the age?
I'm going to teach them the market.
What's the age?
I went out to San Diego. What would that be? 8 weeks ago. I was in San Diego. I was there again 4 weeks ago, but I was there 8 weeks ago, and I was doing my freedom tour around the United States, and just got back to Puerto Rico from my freedom tour. And there was an individual, I call her Boop. Okay, Boop was what she was supposed to. She was 7 years old. 7 years old. And she borrowed her grandmother's smartphone. And I had her download that Currency Heatwave. That was that app that he just showed you. That's my app on your app store. It's called Currency Heatwave. You can go out to your app store right now, type in Currency Heatwave, and that's what you're going to download. It used to be a free download. I don't know if it still is or not. It may cost $10. So as you can see, it's right there on Coach's phone, right? That's my app, my FX Labs. And we've got now a couple of other apps that go with it. We'll teach you that part in class. But she took that app, she hit that bill down there at the bottom that says multi-time frame. And then when it comes up with all 6, she touched the one in the top left that's the 15-minute. So touch the one in the top left, and that's going to bring the 15-minute out to full size. So right now, I would be selling GBP, buying Swiss franc, because the GBP, orange slice is small, blue, Swiss franc, large. Sell GBP, buy Swiss franc, and you'd be making money right now. So I showed her, she's 7 years old, she's using her grandmother's phone. She uses this, and I said, now when we drew a line on the chart, that's the correct one there, Malaysia. Absolutely, that's the correct one. And so she's sitting in the front row. She yelled pink because she didn't know what else to yell. She didn't know that the Australian was pink. I said, do you know what color it is? Pink. I said, okay, good job. I said, now here's what I want you to do is when this price, and I showed her on the chart, the price, I said, when this price crosses this line, I want you to go, boop. And I said, if you do this correctly for me, I said, I'm going to have a prize for you. And so sure enough, about 90 seconds later, it crossed that line, and she went, 7 years old, she went, boop. And I said, you are correct. That boop just made you $100. And so I filled out a $100 bill, put it in her hand. And then her brother says, hey, can we do that again? So he did the next one. He got a $100 bill. And then when we got ready to go home, I said, you know what? I flew here, and these big screen TVs will not fit in my pocket, and they won't fit in my suitcase. I said, the next 2 people that show me how to do this are going to go home with TVs tonight. I gave away 736 65-inch high-definition big screen TVs because they can't go home with me. I want people to start thinking wealth. I want people to start thinking if a 7-year-old can go boop, then I still don't know her name. But here's the cap on the top of the story. Her brother were being raised by their grandmother because their mom passed away 5 weeks earlier. I did not know that at the time. And the cousin that had been helping take care of them that was off to college was the one that took the TV home. And so it was a blessing into their life. I didn't know that at the time, but it's one of the interesting facts that came out of there. I believe Dr. Norvell, if you're still in here, Dr. Norvell was there that night.
Wow.
Yes, I was. We were at Bishop George McKinney Church of God in Christ, St. Stephen's Cathedral in San Diego. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So we're starting a pilot program at that St. Stephen's It's going to be where you can log in anywhere in the world, and anybody, I'm saying teenager, because teenagers can typically sit still through a class, 13 to 19, but I'm not putting any limits on it. If an individual sets through class, logs in via the computer, jumps on their computer, and they're 7 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, I don't care. If they jump on there, here's one thing I know from working with the government, and I'll close with this. Working for the government, governments learn how to turn words around. They can make night out of day and day out of night. To attorn means to twist and turn. An attorney is an individual that twists and turns words, okay? I don't know if you knew that about your attorneys, but that's the case. So here's the deal. How many government officials are attorneys by trade? Congress and Senate's full of them. K Street definitely has an extra bunch of them there as well. Here's the thing I know, is some people thought that they were learning how to trade the foreign exchange. They are a student of the foreign exchange. But here's the one thing I know. If you twist that statement, a student of the foreign exchange, what comes to mind when I say foreign exchange student?
Foreign exchange. Now I'm thinking of Forex student now.
Yeah. So instead of being a student of foreign exchange, if you're a foreign exchange student, those individuals get sponsorship. There's grant money available for foreign exchange students. You just have to learn how to turn the words around. Learn the skill, become a mental giant, and the money will follow.
I hope that's in everybody's notes tonight. Become a mental giant. Jasmine, is back on you, babe. It's time for this ritual. Clint, we getting ready to get into the magic. We taking it back. We bringing up. I'm getting ready to take Gan and put him on my altar. I really apologize, and I'm short. I don't understand why he's not on my altar, but I got some blank gold frames right here. Hold on for a second. Oh.
Because if he was already on your altar, you wouldn't have any opportunity for growth.
Say that again, sir.
Because if he was already on your altar, you wouldn't have the opportunity you have now for growth.
Possibly, but his ass is getting ready to get to work. He getting ready to get woke up. He getting ready to get food. He getting ready to get some songs. These were $1. I think I went on Amazon. I bought them in sets of 10. Gold is the best conductor of electricity. So your energy, you're sitting in front of your altar, and you got a picture of Andrew Carnegie, your grandmother, Mansa Musa, Clint Eastman, whatever. You're directing energy directly into that image, which is directing energy right back into you. You're putting your order into the universe. All right. So this one will be, because I don't have Andrew Carnegie up either. So this will be, one of these will be Carnegie. Gan's going up. I already got Mansa Musa, Sun Tzu. That's if we turn over just over to that window, that's Mansa Musa. Who's that? Mansa Musa, Sun Tzu, Napoleon Hill, Reverend Ike, first black billionaire in the United States that we know of. There probably could have been others, but Reginald Lewis, and then Jay-Z and Dame Dash in the good old days. You have to put these images up, man. You have to start becoming a mental giant. Stop worrying about, a lot of people will come at me and say I would intimidate them, or I should meet people where they're at. No, I can avoid you. If you have a small mind and you're cool with having a small mind, then I can just avoid you. I won't come over there and interrupt your space. If me being a mental giant is really interrupting and bothering you that much, I can just go ahead and go somewhere else. So don't let somebody else's limiting character start interrupting with your coins, okay? Jasmine, Clint needs a ritual tonight. Get to work, earn your money.
Oh, this was amazing. I should pay myself for showing up to class.
Facts.
Okay, so I know Khayr, and I'm glad you mentioned the pumpkin ritual. I want to rerun that since we all still have time to do it. And this also for Clint as well. So I say, while pumpkins are still available, we all go get a fresh one. We start over. Khayr, how does that sound to you?
I'm going to get another one tomorrow, as long as I can get them. What you mean? As long as I can get one, I can get me another. I can plant 2 holes in the ground. That's why I got a backyard on the show.
Oh,
I
somebody-
wasn't here for the last class. I missed the pumping ritual. I ain't paid for it, so if I missed it, I go get the other one. But I mean, if you want to drop something, I'm listening.
Absolutely. So tonight, I'm going to go over 3 different rituals. So we're going to cover the Mercury retrograde ritual. That is imperative. It has to be done. It is not an option. Number 2, the pumpkin ritual. And number 3, something that I didn't really address yet with everybody is it's time for you guys to do a spiritual cleansing. And I have a very simple recipe with ingredients you have at home. This is something you can all do for about $5 in 5 minutes, highly effective. So in no particular order, the Mercury retrograde ritual is extremely simple. And again, you have to do this because this is going to soften the blow of Mercury. And I've already been feeling it. It's been whacking me upside my head for the past 3 days, okay? So what you'll want to get, the first item is going to be a blue candle. This candle can be any type of blue candle. It can be in glass, in the 7-day glass. I see you, Malaysia. She got her candle. A 7-day glass, stick, votive, just not a tea light candle. So that's one. You are going to take this candle and you're going to ritualistically cleanse it. So that will be with your incense smoke or Florida water, or just kind of rinsing it, whatever your routine for clearing your candle prior to working with it. You are to inscribe the symbol of Mercury onto the candle. If you're not familiar with that symbol, just Google it. It will pop up. You could also print out the symbol, but there's something very powerful when you take the time to actually handwrite it. Don't worry if you're not an artist, but you actually take the time with a Sharpie and draw it on your candle or inscribe it into the wax. Somewhere on the other side of the candle, you are going to put your name on there, first and last name, any particular order. You are going to anoint the candle with coconut oil, and coconut oil is to help clear away any funky energy. And we all know if you have funky energy going into Mercury retrograde, you're going to have that funky energy hitting you. So we want to clear that away. You will then dress your candle with lemongrass, lavender, and white sage, and that can be in the essential oil form or it can be in the dry herb form. Whatever you have on hand is perfectly fine. I suggest with this burning an incense. I like lavender because that brings calm energy. I don't think I mentioned rose incense last week, but you could use that. Use Palo Santo or frankincense, either one of those. If you have a specific incense that you really work with that works best for you, feel free to modify this.
I apologize, Jasmine. I'm writing this. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to stop you in your dress the oils with lemon. That's where I got lost. Lemongrass, white sage, and what?
Lavender.
Okay. And all right, continue on from there. I'm sorry.
That's okay. The next thing is going to be the egg cleansing ritual. This is something that I do about twice a year, and eggs are used a lot in Latin and South America and Louisiana folk magic. And what happens is eggs will pull any energy you have that is attached itself to your aura. It will pull it completely off. And this is what I call a deep cleansing, a deep reset, okay? This particular ritual is done in the shower. It's best done at night. It is not for vanity. It does not smell good, but it works. And what you're going to get is 2 to 3 raw eggs. And you're going to separate the yolk from the white part. So you just want the egg yolks, okay? You're going to add a 1/2 cup of salt, a 1/4 cup of baking soda, and a cap full of distilled vinegar. White vinegar or apple cider vinegar is perfectly fine. You're gonna mix this up in a container, and you're going to anoint your body from the neck down. I see you, Malaysia. From the neck down. So down your torso, down your arms, the front of your legs, over your buttocks, and try to get your back as best as possible. You will,
2 to 3 eggs, yolks only, half a cup of salt,
a
cap full of vinegar.
And a quarter
There was
cup
something
of
between there.
baking soda.
How much?
A quarter cup of baking soda.
Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. Go ahead, continue.
No, you're good. So you anoint this on your body. You can either speak your intentions, which is you are using this to remove any energy that's attached itself to you that no longer serves you, and you're removing any spiritual, energetic, mental, or emotional blockages. You can, if there is a specific prayer, the Lord's Prayer or words of power, the Anabacoa, you can recite that. So I'm leaving that part up to you. As a hoodoo practitioner, I work out of the Book of Psalms. I like to recite Psalm number 23, Psalm number 91, and Psalm number 70. And we all know the Book of Psalms and the Bible itself is a spell book. So these are 3 highly powerful prayers, extremely effective. With this particular egg cleansing, you are also going to burn a candle with it. So you get yourself a black candle. If you are uncomfortable working with the color black, it's perfectly fine to substitute that with a white candle. So you're standing in the shower, you've got your solution on, you're reciting your prayer, you're rinsing it off. This should take you 5 minutes from start to finish. You come out of the shower and you take your candle and you're going to rub that candle over you from your crown chakra, across your face, the back of your neck, your hair, your shoulders, all the way down to the soles of your feet. The purpose of doing this is that if there's any residual energy that was not pulled off by the egg, it will go into the candle and it will be burned away. And you can sprinkle in the top of that candle a little salt and or black salt if you have it, a little bit of red or cayenne pepper. You light the candle. And for this, you're going to want to use a 7-day candle specifically. You allow the candle to burn down until it finishes. Once the candle is empty and you have the glass shell, take the candle, break the candle, be very careful when you do this, break it inside of a bag and dispose of it away from your home somewhere. So down the street, trash can at McDonald's, I don't care where you put it, just get rid of it. And we want to do this because we've been doing a lot of ritual work over the past 8 weeks. We are in the month of October where the veil is extremely thin. Spiritual entities are able to cross over to our side, and you've got to have some protection, and you've got to clear yourself as we're getting ready to transition into the darker months, going into the Mercury retrograde. And each week, as we go through these classes, our rituals are going to become a little more intense. So you want to make sure that you're able to attract everything that you want and there's nothing surrounding you that can be blocking you. Okay, last but not least, the pumpkin ritual.
Hold on, pause right there. I want to add this piece. We also know that the 8 phases of the year, what we do from September 22nd to November the 5th is going to determine where you're going to be at when summer solstice, June 23rd, beginning of July. So all of the stuff we're doing, you look at the timing that we're giving it to you. Like, you can't be thinking about something else if you keep coming to class every week. What y'all doing in class this week? What y'all doing in class next week? We did relationships. We've done 2 money classes. We did a book of shadows. We did a general class for everybody asking. Like, we've covered it all. So Jasmine is talking about, we want you to be clear So you don't be thinking about spending your tax refund check in February. I'm talking about our actions between now and the 5th of November. What are we on now? Today's the 23rd. So we only got 12 more days of the planning phase. Then you start to take it and go and putting this plan into your subconscious. So somebody was talking about earlier about, I was telling them long range business versus just doing a big event in November. So what are your 2 goals? Where do you want to be in July? I asked the brother, Courtney, I said, Courtney, where you want to be in 90 days? He said he wanted to be at 300,000. Well, now he got to go back and say, where does he want to be June 23rd, which is the summer solstice? That's what we're setting it up for. Even Clint got to have goals too. Clint can't just be like, well, yeah, I want to be doing 40,000. You can't just keep doing 40,000. I mean, you can, but you still got other goals, but they may be personal goals or travel goals, or he may want 10,000 students in his program, in the team program. So what are your long range goals for the 23rd of 2020, June 23rd? Also, if you don't know how to write your goals out in the format, I did a whole class on it. Everybody should go to CoachKClass.com. CoachKClass.com is free. How much is it? Free. And learn to write your goals out. It also helps you write your invocations out. Back to Jasmine with the pumpkin ritual.
Yes, the pumpkin ritual. Oh, I get so excited. I can't wait to do this again. So you're going to need a pumpkin. Very important, get a sizable pumpkin, meaning this is something that is going to have to be buried. So you want to, you don't want to get a huge 5-10 pound enormous pumpkin and you're trying to figure out where you can where you can bury it. So get a medium-sized pumpkin, something that's going to be adequate enough to set a 7-day candle down inside. You will need some red palm oil. Red palm oil can be found in your local natural food store, or you can find it at most metaphysical shops. Botanicas will carry red palm oil. I would prefer that you get the food grade kind because it is less processed and it does work better. The energy behind it is more amplified, but work with what you're able to find. Ordering it from eBay is perfectly acceptable as well. Indioproducts.com carries red palm oil, so if you do need to order it because it's not accessible, you can get it from them, and their shipping is relatively quick. You're going to need 7 bay leaves. And as you're putting your bay leaves, so let me back up for a second. You're going to have your pumpkin. You've already cut it open. You've already cleaned it out. You're going to anoint the inside of your pumpkin with your red palm oil. So get jiggy with it. Get your hands up in there. Rub it inside of there. You're anointing it. You're feeding it. You're blessing it. You're loving on it. You're getting all that good energy going on the inside of your pumpkin. You will take your 7 bay leaves and you will place them inside of your pumpkin. Now, bay leaf is for wishes to come true. Bay leaf is for success, and we want this to be successful. And we are trying to bring success to whatever it is that you're asking for. You are going to take either a brown paper bag or parchment paper, and you're going to tear off little strips, and you're going to write that you're trying to manifest up to 12, meaning you can put one goal for each month of the year inside of your pumpkin, tear them off, stick them down in there. A great way to start that is writing, I am so happy and grateful for receiving, and whatever that is. Place it down inside of your pumpkin. You're going to use some star anise. For this particular ritual, when you purchase your package of star anise, you want to get the whole root, not the seeds, not the powder. And you want to make sure that each little star that you put in has all of its points intact, which I believe it has like 6 or 8 or something like that. Each one is intact. Star anise is a great ingredient to really help ground what you're sending to the spirit world. It helps bring it down to manifest in the physical realm. It is also used for success, so this is very important. You want to put some coins inside of your pumpkin. I prefer to work with the gold dollar coin, so go to your local bank, take $5 and say, hey, get 5 gold coins. This is an optional, but if you have the means to do it, please do so. Otherwise, just stick some cash, any denomination that you have, or some paper. You will be burying the pumpkin with the cash in it, so don't go sticking a $100 bill in there unless you're okay with putting that in the ground. So let's just, be reasonable with the amount of money that you put in there. You will need some grains. Grains symbolize abundance. So this can be rice, can be beans, can be oatmeal, can be grits, maltomeal. I don't care what you use, as long as it's a grain. Take a good handful, pour it inside of there. You will also need, I'm trying to think. I don't remember if I'm missing something, but that's everything that I put. Oh, and some, I like to use glitter. I think I had mentioned gold flakes last week, but you can use some gold glitter or something that symbolizes wealth. So we're thinking wealth, we're thinking gold.
And if you have the shredded money, I put a whole pack of shredded money in mine, and the gold bars that you get from the Chinese store. So I use shredded money from the Federal Reserve. I use honey, and I use ancestor money, and I use the gold bars.
And this is another kind of side note, reason why I love to buy these. These are on Amazon. I got a whole pack. I got a $10,000 worth pack for maybe about $5.99 for your rituals like this. Some people are like, hey, I'm broke right now. I can't even afford to throw a 5 or 10 in there. But you can throw these in there all day long and not feel guilty about it. So keep that in mind.
What did you type in on Amazon to find those?
Hold on, I'll tell you right now because they are sitting in my shopping cart. I think I put $100 bills. Let's see. What did I? Bear with me, y'all. Okay, so it's listed under prop play money. Prop play money. And I've only seen them in the $10,000, like that's the highest that I've seen them being sold for. So I bought a couple of them, but you can get one, you'll do wonders with them. Okay. You will need your candle. So Khayr used a St. Expedite candle that produced phenomenal results. I suggested for everyone to use a road opener candle. And I picked road opener because whatever goals, wherever you are in life, whatever it is you're trying to manifest, this will work for you for multiple things. Please feel free if you know that there's something extremely specific that you're trying to work on and you're like, I know I want to do a money candle, or I know I'd rather do a love candle or a High John the Conqueror, feel free. If you've already done your pumpkin ritual and you used a road opener candle and this is your second time, you can go ahead and substitute it out for a different candle. I'll leave that up to your discretion. You're going to want to dress your candle with some type of either success oil, crown of success oil, money drawing oil, road opener oil, High John the Conqueror oil. I'm trying to think. Patchouli oil. If you don't have specific conjure oils, you can use patchouli oil. The absolute last resource would be using olive oil. And I say use olive oil only if you do not have any of the oils that I mentioned or it's not within your budget to get it. So I want you guys to be very specific. And remember, the spirit world knows what you're working with and know how much money you got in your bank account. So if you can visit your local spiritual shop and purchase one of the oils, because they're going to be blended with different essences to really create the effects that you want. But if not, olive oil is perfectly fine. Inside of your road opener candle, I like to work with lemongrass. That's for clearing away blockages, or cinnamon. I know a lot of people, and I talked to some people today in my inbox that say, well, I have a specific kind of blend that I always use and produces great results for me. Totally fine. Use what works for you. Trying to think if there's anything else I want to add to that. And that's it. Oh, and your incense. So again, of course, you want to use an incense that corresponds with what you're working on. So if it's road opening, road opener. If it's a love, last but not least, if you really want to get jiggy with it, and I think I mentioned this maybe in the third class, is print yourself out a check from the Bank of the Universe.
I'm sorry, Mystic at the Crossroads. I don't know, but for about 30, 45 seconds, you had got closed off. I ain't mean it, so I just wanted to let you know nobody could hear you for about 30, 45 seconds. You might want to rewind just a bit.
Okay, where did you lose me at? Okay. If there's any place you guys lost me, I'm happy to go back, but I'm gonna move forward. You can download and print yourself off a check from the Bank of the Universe. You could also go online. It's secretchecks.com, and print yourself off a check and write out a denomination that you'd like to manifest. You can also print out, and this works very well also, you can print out a lottery check from the state that you live in. So I'm in LA. I would print out a California state lottery check that already has the amount of money I want on there. And where it says pay to the order of, I'm going to write my name in there. This does not necessarily mean that you will win the lottery, but this is just symbolic, tapping into that energy of wealth raining on you, being given to you, you winning something, or you accomplishing your financial goals if that's what you're working on. So that's a little added bonus that you can stick inside of your pumpkin. With the candle that's going to burn, it's important to allow the candle to burn completely. If you are a little hesitant, you can put the candle out and you extinguish it by covering it with something, not your cell phone, but covering it with something until the flame goes out on its own. We never, ever, 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 under any circumstances, do we blow a candle out. You just blew away all the energy, and all your wishes have just been blown out. So you do not do that. You cover it, and then when you come home, you relight it. These particular candles do burn anywhere from 4 to 7 days, depending. So this pumpkin, you're going to want to place it somewhere where it can sit and be undisturbed for those days while it is burning down. Very important also, you will want to take some time every day and either recite your prayer or speak your intentions over your pumpkin. And again, this doesn't have to take a lot of time. 5 minutes, spend a minute standing there, sitting there, closing your eyes, visualizing all of your wishes, everything you put inside of this pumpkin, and or reciting that out loud. Once the candle has finished burning, you are going to take the candle, rinse the candle out, and dispose of the glass. And you're going to bury the entire pumpkin with all of its contents in it somewhere in nature. So if you have the opportunity or the privilege to bury it on your own property, great. If not, you may want to go to a park. And the reason why I emphasize getting a pumpkin that is a smaller size is so that if you do have to bury it in a public space, you don't have people looking at you like, what the hell are you doing burying a pumpkin? True story, it happened to a friend of mine. And that is the pumpkin ritual. And this is something that is only done once a year. It can only be done in October for various very obvious reasons. It is highly effective. And this is one of thousands of recipes. You guys can look it up, the origins of the pumpkin ritual, and you can go on YouTube or Google other people's success stories and how phenomenal that doing something like this and setting the tone this time of year is going to just manifest between now and the rest of the year. And I really I would like to, and I'm expecting to hear some success stories over the next couple of weeks once you guys get this done. Are there any questions in regards to the ritual? Any of the rituals that I've mentioned?
Yes, I have a question.
Hold on, I just want to add one astrological thing before he dropped the question. The moon is in Virgo now. So whoever gonna make haste before the moon leaves Virgo is order. So doing this ritual tomorrow will really bring about and it'll maintain some order as you move through this Mercury retrograde. So you can just go on your phone, you can go to Planet Watcher, and you can see how long the moon is going to be in Virgo. Not that you have to get it done, but if you get it done before the moon goes into Libra, that's just more more assurance. Because some of y'all might have a pumpkin and was like, well, I got all my stuff, but I didn't do anything. Tomorrow and tonight is a really, really, really good day. So, and then there's other good days coming up too, but tomorrow's really good. Sincere?
Yes, my question is, a lot of people right now are taking their children to the pumpkin patch. They're going to the pumpkin patch, things of this nature. Due to my state and my city and what I do, I have people that when they come see me, I request they bring something of me. So my question was, if I tell somebody who's coming to see me shortly, bring me a pumpkin from the pumpkin patch, will be a do enough gift for me, and I do this ritual with that, am I setting them up, or do I need to go get this pumpkin myself? That's my question.
Fantastic question. I'm so glad you asked that. For this particular ritual, because remember, rituals start manifesting when we start thinking of them. It is best that you go and you pick out the pumpkin that shouts your name out versus the pumpkin that someone else brings you. And mind you, remember, a pumpkin, it's living, okay, because it's still alive. It's going to absorb that person's energy. So I would prefer, if you can, to get your own pumpkin. G7 says the pumpkin ritual is on your YouTube channel. I have a pumpkin ritual. Actually, I have 2 pumpkin rituals on my YouTube channel. This one is not. This particular ritual is strictly for those that attended this class. So if you missed something, you can watch the replay, but this pumpkin ritual is not the one that is on my YouTube channel. Carmen, can I use a 7-color candle? Yes, my love, that's the one. So I have a 7-color road opener, and you can use, even if you have the plain 7-color one, perfectly acceptable, or any other spiritual candle that you feel called or drawn to use for this particular ritual. And that's it, y'all. That's your ritual.
Dun, 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 dun. Shaquana has her hand up. Shaquana, your mic is wide open. We can't hear you. You went away. When you come back, just let us know. Somebody, Adrian, did you? Well, you had your hand. Okay, she's back.
There's still no.
I think you have to hit the button at the bottom left corner to take your phone off mute. There's a one for the video and one for the audio. Nope, still can't hear you.
Oh man.
Just keep trying. Does anybody else have comments or questions? Shaquana, just keep. There's a button down there. You're gonna get it. It's maybe your first time. B said, my dad is a Mason, and he mentioned to me that I can add seals of Solomon to my rituals, but he did not tell me how to use them. Of course he didn't, because you're not an Eastern Star. I would like to use one for my money ritual. Please help. I found the seals online, what they mean and what they are used for, but I am not sure if I can use them since I heard they are very powerful. Sure, you can use them. This is my opinion first before Jasmine goes.
Mm-hmm.
You can use them, but stop thinking that you're going to do it wrong. That's why earlier, just like Courtney said, follow your heart. If you got a pendulum, I would say pendulum. Which one of these is good for my money ritual? And then I would hold the pendulum over each one as I had them printed out to see which one. But that's my answer.
So my question to that is it the actual seals of Solomon, or are you referring to the roots, the herb? Because in fact, I have some sitting here. I use the Solomon seal root for protection. So you could definitely, if that's what you're referring to, you could use it to help protect your finances or whatever it is that you're putting into your pumpkin ritual. And if you're referring to the actual seals, that's perfectly fine also. And again, just so you guys know, I mean, this is the template for your pumpkin ritual, but nothing you are going to add to this is going to be wrong. So if you are intuitively feeling or wondering if you should add something, that's your spiritual team whispering in your ear and saying, hey, add this to your pumpkin. It's perfectly fine. Please go ahead and do so. And then something else too, because when you mentioned Solomon seals and you looked them up, this is a fantastic reference book by Scott Cunningham, the Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. I really like Scott Cunningham's work. His books are simplified. And this book has, I don't even know how many, it has some crazy like 500 different herbs and what their uses are for. So just to have something in your library, you should definitely look this up. Also, for those of you that are in my Facebook group, Let's Talk Magic, if you look under group files, someone, a couple of people, but someone specific had a massive library of reference books and articles and information on everything from herbs to oils to different areas of spirituality. You can go in there and look at the content. So if you have a question or you want to find a reference book for something, that information there and it is accessible to you. So just kind of keep that in mind. Let's see. Did we get Shaquana back? Is her volume working? Or Shaquana, if you're having trouble, honey, if you want to just type your message down here, I can answer it that way if that's a little bit easier. Okay, incense. So I said you could do dragon's blood incense. You could do an incense that corresponds with what you're working on. So money, road opener, business, love. Come to me incense also, we automatically think love, but come to me as an attracting incense. So if you're trying to attract money, if you're trying to attract a job, you're trying to attract a raise, whatever it is, you can use a come to me incense as well. Frankincense and or patchouli is a kind of multi-purpose incense. So feel free to work with any of those. Julie, for Let's Talk Magic, you can either send me a inbox message or just pull the group up and hit request. And when I see it, I will happily add you to the group And everybody else here, please join both our Self Mastery Facebook group and Let's Talk Magic. And magic is with the K at the end. Okay. Let's see. I did the first pumpkin ritual and burned a second candle since you said it was okay. My pumpkin started to mold, but the candle is still burning strong. Should I leave it in the pumpkin? Yes, absolutely. Go ahead and leave it in the pumpkin until your candle goes out. It's going to mold. It's perfectly fine. It's just going back to nature, back to the creator. It's supposed to do that. So allow it to burn out, and then you can dispose of it. I would not do a rerun in this pumpkin, meaning I wouldn't do a third candle. I would get a fresh pumpkin and redo the ritual this time around. Whew. Okay. Can we still do the second ritual you gave us? Yes, you can.
Excuse me, I have one question. That's the question I needed to answer. The wish jar ritual that you did last week, I wanted to revise it to look at it again and make sure I had everything, but it was cut off. It was cut off in the video. Your part was cut off. So is there any way that we can get that part?
Yes. I gotta find my notes from next week. I will, who is this? I'm sorry. Who am I talking to?
Vanessa.
Okay. What I will do is I can send it to you. If you can just put your email down here, and then I'll email it to you tonight after class.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, so for anybody that wants me to send them the wish jar, leave your email down here. I'm going to take a snapshot of it only because I don't have my notes with me. And when I channel spells, they come through so quickly. And if I don't write them down, then they go. I will go my notes and I'll make sure to send that to you guys tonight or tonight after class. All right. Good. I think if nobody else has any other questions, let's see. Is there a way I can go back to the first class? Kyrie, do you want to answer that one? I'm going to take a picture of everyone's email.
Sure. All of the classes are available on the same page that you signed up. So we're making a catalog. So if you just go back to selfdiscoveryclass.info and scroll down to the bottom of the page, all of the classes will be there. They're going to stay there. So we're creating something that is timeless. So when somebody watches this video in 3 months, they'll be able to do everything but the pumpkin ritual. They'll be like, dang, and they won't miss class anymore. They can wait till next October. You know what I'm saying? Then they can come through like that. But we have a class on relationships. Guess who needs that? Everybody. Is that everybody or everybody? So however you want to pronounce it. So we have a class, every class. We have one on just creating your book of shadows. Just let other people ask questions for you. And just be like, what? I can do that? We should call this the Possibilities Are Endless class. All of this, to me, I'm so happy because these classes are making each of you mental giants already. You keep coming to class, guess what? You're going to mess around and I'm going to change. I mean, you can mess around, I'm going to influence you and make you start believing that you can do anything. Right. Mm-hmm. People ain't going to be liking you, stuff like that. Yeah. And someone said, can you add it to the group? So send me a request because there's a lot of people trying to get in the group. So you might have a different Facebook name than what you have on here. So if you can send Kyrie Carter a message and a friend request, then I can see you so that I can add you directly in there instead of going through here. Because it's, it's a couple hundred people who want to get into the group. So I'm an admin, but I don't necessarily go through and be looking for one person. So if you just send me a message, then I'll get you in here.
I don't mean to interrupt, but Shaquana had a question. I think she asked if she was supposed to bury both the candle and the pumpkin, and then she also had a following question.
Okay, so we're only burying the pumpkin, not the candle. You're gonna rinse the candle out and just go ahead and dispose of it when the pumpkin is done. Let's see, I got a Buddha from Amazon, but I haven't taken out the package. I wasn't sure how to cleanse it and exactly where it should be placed. I've got to put it in my workspace for when I do my client makeup. Okay, so when I bought my Buddha, I smudged it with, I don't know what, I think I used Palo Santo. I rubbed my Buddha down with some money oil. For me, my Buddha is facing the front door. I work from home. That's where the money comes in, through the door. So I have it facing, my prosperity altar is right when you walk into my living room, it's facing the door. I would suggest, if you are able to, place your Buddha anywhere where you're welcoming your clients in. Kyer, do you have something to touch on with that?
I want something in my workplace that represents what I'm doing. So if you're putting makeup on a client's face, that means you're beautifying them. So who's the goddess of beauty? Aphrodite.
Mm-hmm.
Oshun. If you want to get real wicked, you put Lilith in there. But Buddha is peaceful. You know what I'm saying? Like you want your person to calm down, but you're not putting makeup on somebody to look like Buddha. I'd have Buddha in my meditation space. But if I was doing makeup and that was my job, making people look beautiful, then I would have a god of beauty there. Don't just like put some thought to it. You go somewhere.
What
and
if
be
you
like,
were
"Man,
making drinks?
if you are making drinks, then that's Het Heru, or right, that's Het Heru or Hathor, or or Neptune, or Dionysus. Dionysus, the Greeks changed Het Heru into Dionysus, and she was the goddess of wine. Everybody brought her wine, but you weren't supposed to get drunk. You know what I'm saying? So that's why when they like disrespected Dionysus, it went to debauchery. So you got to be careful. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not drinking to get drunk. We're drinking to enjoy ourselves. Some people drink to get drunk, but not us billionaires. That, we ain't doing that. But yeah. Bullshit. Cherry, you saying how about real estate? A god of real estate. That's the Jade Emperor helps with real estate. If you are a woman, I would have the Jade Emperor and his wife. You can type Jade Emperor and wife and scroll down. It costs a little more, but the Jade Emperor's wife really loves women, like working for women, right? So I would have the Jade Emperor's wife if I was working for real estate. If I was doing real estate, that's houses, but that's also property. So it depends on what type of real estate, but that's really like big money. So I would have Ganesha, because Ganesha removes obstacles and success, because I've got to go through all this paperwork and you want to get it right. I would have the god Toph for wisdom, because there's so much paperwork in buying real estate, you don't want to mess anything up. So I want everything to be clean. Those are the three that I would use. Anything got to do with big money, that's Jade Emperor all day. Lakshmi, right?
And for that, really quickly, also in regards to real estate, I have a video on my YouTube channel, how to find a home. And this is a fantastic ritual for you to use, because you want your clients that are coming to you, you want to be able to find them a property that they like, a property that they want to put an offer on, and a property that they get approved for. So in real estate, if you're selling homes, you're making a commission. Try to help yourself out by burning a candle for you and for your clients. Also, when you are showing these homes, I would be oiled down in money oil and Jezebel oil from head to toe. Yeah.
Cha-ching. It says sex sales. All right, family. We appreciate all of y'all for coming out tonight. We always burn candles till the candles burn out. I don't even know what that question was really for, but we burn candles till they burn out. No rushing it, no blowing it out. Let the candle do, trust the magic. I appreciate everybody who came out tonight. Definitely Jasmine for her wisdom. I love sitting there and listening to her when she gets in the zone. I appreciate what everybody contributed. All of y'all is late. This is like the super billionaires because y'all like, we ain't going nowhere. Somebody else got something to say? Huh? Y'all over there dozing off? No, we don't have anything else for y'all except thank you. And of course, we found you in peace, and we always gonna end you in prayer. We keep our stuff on a high spiritual vibration. Man, on everything, I just want to thank Clint Eastman for coming through tonight. He paid for class to come through and speak. He ain't come and be like, just let me come talk like a lot of other people. He was like, how do I sign up? You feel what I'm saying? So like, that was a lesson. I learned so much just in his interactions with us tonight. Just peep and game, you know what I'm saying? Like a boss. Sincere, can I get you to hold that up again one more time? Like, that was heavy for me, just for him, you know, doing that and coming through and just blessing us. I don't want to hear nothing from nobody about what is CSA 5. What you mean? Your ass better damn be like signed up and talking about it and telling friends. Yeah, boss shit. Hashtag. That's 1,000,000%.
No.
So we found you in peace. We started this thing in peace, and we're gonna leave you in prayer. Everybody take a nice big deep inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Relax the shoulders. One more big inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Anabakor, Gijala Kiminka, Tatia Tezara, Kabel Renat, Amcha Sagvanu, Tahara Nunara, Nagibor, Shea Yakadeka, Kavava Shamran, Barkham Tower, Rakame, Tazika Taker, to meet Gamlin, Kasim Kadosh, Baru Tufka, Nahel Taker, Yakib Gehel, Amchapanez, or Craig Katushka Taker, Shavatanu Kabel Lushma, Tazakatanu, Yodea Talamo, Burukshim, Kovo Makuto, Lalam Vaed. All right, fam. We're gonna holler at y'all, and we're gonna have the replay. It takes a while for this to process, so I'll be sending the replay out before Friday. I'll just say that. Be on the lookout. Tomorrow's class, next week's class, we're back to Thursdays. All right, we're back to Thursdays. Hope all of y'all can come back out for part 2. We appreciate it. Tell your friends what they missed, you know, if you feel like it. All right, we're gonna holler at y'all.
What friends?
Right, they were all here. All your new friends were right here.
My friends was here tonight.
I ain't saying
If
nothing.
they did not sign up,
They weren't here. They weren't here.
yeah.
I got new friends now.
I even gotta catch up on some classes.
New
so
circle.
I can't get
I
nobody
got a
nothing.
new circle.
I love y'all.
I gotta play with the big minds, you know what I'm saying? You say big minds, right?
It was fun. Gotta
This
go.
is an
Gotta get
exclusive.
stuff popping.
This is an
love
exclusive group.
Yeah, this is eye-opening. I am so very grateful.
Jasmine and Kair, y'all the ish. Y'all the ish for this. Y'all gonna be
For
blessed
sure.
highly.
Yes, Kanye, this not
True.
tonight. I was in class 3. This is class 8. Tonight, topped it.
Yeah,
Yes.
you the man. That's a good one.
Liddy.
I cracked the bottle for this one.
And Clint, you the bomb too. Thank you, Jazzy Jazz.
This was awesome.
Thank you both.
Live interaction
for
is
this.
priceless.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
thank you, thank
I'm
you.
about to be a mom boss. I'm about to be balling. Thank you.
I
No, I'm gonna be afraid
feel
that
like
I am balling. Thank you.
Good night. Good night, y'all. Good night.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Much
All right,
love,
fam.
family.
Much love. We appreciate y'all. Peace.
I'm gonna be the last one to leave. I gotta get all this.